praying when we're talking about retirement. The person who has you in the risk account doesn't want you to know about them. If you try to do everything yourself, you don't have a team behind you giving you the advice, but more importantly, telling you what's wrong. Just stop doing bad things in your portfolio could take the worry out of living in retirement.
The Financial Safari with Coach Pete D'Arruda and local trusted advisor Jean Ann Durrell. Saturday mornings at 9 on WOCA The Source.
In Clark, we trust.
Hi, this is Clark Howard. I'm so excited to be on in Ocala, where I visit twice a year because I have relatives in Ocala, and it's great that my show is on every evening at 6 p.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Hi, I'm Fran Darkington. When I need news, I pass the rest and tune to The Source, WOCA.
This is JJ LaSalle in the WOCA studios with this news update brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. According to Ocala.com, former U.S. Representative Cliff Stearns has left Congress, but not Washington's political landscape. On Monday, the 24-year House veteran from Ocala will launch his new career with a high-powered Washington lobbying firm, according to executives at APCO Worldwide, which announced the hiring of Stearns on Friday. An APCO representative said Stearns will serve on the firm's International Advisory Council, a panel of more than 80 high rollers. This news update was brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. Join Angie as she joins Buddy weekly for a BizBuzz or Good Neighbor Award.
All right, welcome back to the Voice of Ocala. We're live from the Gateway Bank. It's Community Gazette Day. Our Buddy Martin program is on as usual each weekday, 3 to 6, and we're talking about the new and improved Voice of Ocala, and we're rolling out new things all the time. And speaking of rolling, wait till you see what I have in my hand. Hunter, you particularly, I will enjoy this one, and we'll get to that in a moment, but I'm looking at something here you're going to love when you see it. Meanwhile, we're moving on to new things. We're going to try to stay on top of crime news because it's something we're all concerned about. We're not really interested in the real gory stuff, but we're interested in things that affect our lives in a way. And unfortunately, sometimes that involves stories of tragedy, there's one today, which we'll tell you about it. And it's the kind of thing that just, if you had I guess you had a warning, you say turn off your radio if you don't want to hear something that's pretty gruesome because of what happened today. Meanwhile, Tom Schmitz reports to us today on several things happening in our neighborhood.
Buddy, it's a sad day in Marion County today. A baby has been killed and a mom clings to life after an attempted murder-suicide. The mother is at ORMC, Ocala Regional Medical Center, and the Trauma Center in critical condition. She's 20 years old. Her name is Melanie Reyes. Her child, Jonah Mendoza, was pronounced dead after 1 p.m. from a gunshot wound, 6 months old, inflicted by his mother, the police are saying. Then the mother tried to take her own life. A relative of the mother saw a Facebook posting that the woman put on about her committing suicide and killing her baby, so that's what alerted police. They arrived around 11:15 a.m. according to ocala.com, and they found the woman and the baby in the back bedroom. The baby was deceased, and the mother was clinging to life. So, sad day. This story's still breaking, so stay tuned. We'll bring any updates that we can to you as quick as we possible, but just a sad day here in Marion County.
Absolutely. Still looking for clues on the 64-year-old woman who was found dead. By the way, that crime took place, the shooting took place in the 4800 block of Northwest 45th Court. Just to place it so people will be aware of that.
Right.
The other one was the southwest part of the city, where the 64-year-old woman was found last week during the holidays, and she was found on the floor with a blanket over her, with some blood there. And they thought at first, they inferred, they didn't suspect foul play, but now they do suspect foul play. And I noticed today, reading the Ocala Star-Banner, as I do every morning, that they're still looking for possible suspects. And they've interviewed over 100 people regarding this, not as suspects, but as for information. So they're on top of that. The Ocala Police Department trying to figure out what's going on in that thing. I believe that's the police department. It might be the county. It might be the sheriff. I'm not sure. So there's a couple of stories there on.
An update real quick on the man accused of stabbing his brothers 11 times. Kervin's Dorsone charged Thursday with attempted murder after being accused of stabbing his younger brother 11 times. He has, of course, said now during his arraignment that he acted in self-defense. So, looks like there's going to be a
ground, right?
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a stand your ground.
Yeah.
He says that he lives in Palm Beach County and was in Ocala working at a tax service, and he told the judge he wasn't getting any money and his pay would come at the end of tax season, so he's been appointed a public defender. And he says that he did it in self-defense. Of course, he is in jail without bond. His next court appearance is slated for February 5th.
Yeah. I'm going to add one for you. I was going to mention it yesterday, and I mentioned the T's and didn't. You know, it's pretty bad. Sometimes people are beyond irresponsible with children. Here's one. Talk about your stupid man tricks. Kenneth Road, 26, apparently walked into a place in Daytona called the Shark Lounge Liquor Store, which also, I guess, is a gentleman's club, and takes with him a baby, okay? Don't know exactly the terms of how it happened, but apparently he left the baby behind and just left the baby at the strip club, I guess. Walked away, and apparently they called the police and said the baby was hungry and had a rash on his face, so the cops caught up with him, and they've charged him with child neglect, and the young baby boy is with the Department of Children and Families. So it's another one of those sad, stupid stories about people who have no sense of responsibility, especially when they have mind-altering substances.
I have a stupid, real quick, one more dumb. It's a dumb crime story. An Oregon teenager. This is from Huffington Post. An Oregon teenager has landed himself in a county jail for what must be one of the dumbest Facebook posts ever. He posts, "Driving drunk classic, but to whoever's vehicle I hit, I'm sorry." Jacob Cox Brown lives in the Oregon coast city of Astoria. Upon reading Cox Brown's post, two of his 18-year-old Facebook friends contacted the Astoria police, who promptly responded to his house and arrested him for leaving the scene of the accident and causing damage to vehicles. Smart guy there.
How about that? Facebook, huh?
Facebook.
Oh, I saw you said Facebook. I thought it was a different. That was the combination of fracking and Facebook. That new
Facebook.
That new Matt Damon movie involves a lot of fracking. Okay, on to a little bit lighter news, by the way, and I'll talk about this at 4:30. These issues of Neighbors publications, which have come out. I got a fresh box of them delivered by Ernie. Thank you, Ernie, here just a moment ago. This is the one which featured Tom Ingram on the cover here a couple of months ago. And you see this nice cover here on the Southeast Neighbors. We'll talk about this with David Moore, who's one of the writers who writes for this. But can you see anybody you recognize at all on this cover? Look real close. Did you see anybody you know at all? You got to look closely. Anybody? Anybody? Let me help you out here. Just help you, Andy. How about this right here?
The Briggs. Oh, okay.
Anybody you know there?
Oh, yeah.
And that's a nice family portrait of Randy and Diana Briggs and their children, their daughter and son and their families. A little bit.
That's the nicest I've ever seen Randy look. That's why I didn't recognize him right away.
He cleans up good, doesn't he?
Cleans up well. That's why I didn't recognize him right away.
Picture there. And here's the great thing about this magazine. If you don't like that story, you want a few laughs, you want to have a few yucks, you could turn it over and you can look at this article and this picture, which says, anybody recognize this guy here in this?
Seriously.
Huh? Anybody recognize that guy?
Seriously.
Huh?
See what I have to put up with, Hunter.
What do you think it is, Hunter?
I like it.
Can you see who it is?
Yeah.
Pass it over there so you can see it. All right? And we'll tell you the story about it. All right.
I love it.
Got it?
I love
Recognize it? Who is it?
Looking good, man.
Who is it?
Tom.
Tom
Mr.
who?
Golf.
Tom Ingram?
Mr. Golf, Tom Schmidt.
Tom Smith. Oh, my goodness. Look at it. He's got the fever now. It's the first time he's seen this column in print.
You know what?
Look at this, though. It's great. It's a great shot.
You know what? It was I had more fun doing that photo shoot. I'm not a big photo guy. I don't like having my picture taken. It's probably because, I got a criminal past somewhere probably, or I don't know. But
been kicked out of a lot of good places. I'll put it that way.
And I don't like my picture taken a whole lot, but very well done. She took an hour for me. Tammy Griffin Vincent took an hour for me. Mm-hmm. And we got this one good picture.
So Hunter, Are we talking about Tom's photo shoot right now?
We are, buddy.
Is that what we're talking about?
One good picture.
I just want to check in and
That's
see.
what we succumb to
If we
right
come
now.
to, we're talking about Tom Schmidt's photo shoot.
Can I tell you, though, she took, to get one good picture, she took almost 100 photos.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
So here's what you learned on this. You said, I got the picture. We'll get no problem. I got somebody to take the picture for us, right?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
And I said, Tom, I don't know if you understand. This is a high-quality publication. Well, I got a friend. She got all lenses and stuff.
They're good.
I said, okay. So he went out and got a picture and came back, and he showed it to me. I said, that's not going to work. We're talking, we need a little high-quality, high-gloss stuff. So he winds up going with a real pro, Tammy Graham Griffin is how you know her. Her name is Griffin Vincent now. But Tammy is a very well-known photographer here in town.
She's taking a lot of my photos.
Yeah. And she managed to make Tom look good, so she must be a miracle worker.
Pretty good.
She told me that there's ways that you can lean and turn and everything.
Yeah, we don't want to know
She
about
didn't
that.
make the fat boy look near as fat as he is, so I appreciate her for that.
So anyway, this is a column written every month in some of the local publications.
Which, by the way, I still owe you for this month coming up.
You should do. Tonight you'll have to write it. The deadline's tomorrow.
Well, there you go.
So this is about golf, and we'll tell you a little more about that. And David Moore's coming in. He has a couple of nice articles, too. So we'll tell you about the publication, Neighbors Publication. I'll chat with you about that. I want to talk about Downton Abbey. I don't know where my man is back in the studio. He's probably back there eating bonbons and watching soccer. But Downton Abbey, which you heard me talk about if you listen to the show, I think is, it's just refreshing to see some high-quality programming on TV. If you haven't watched it, you can watch the other. If you got Netflix, I think you can go online and get the season 1 and 2. I didn't see season 1. I'm still wanting to see it, but our friends told us about it, and we watched it all last week and last year, and I can't wait till it starts this week, even though it's going to be on a Sunday when there's lots of football. But 17 million people in this country watch this show, which is produced in England, and what they're upset about over here is they can't figure out how England gets to watch it before we do. I mean, we won the war, right?
Well, it's made there.
I know that. But you know how Americans are. You know how Americans are. Wait a minute. We won the war. Don't we get to...
I thought that about that show. I didn't think we should have it before them, but I said, listen, if they can release it over there, why can't they release it the same time over here, man?
Well, that's a good question. Apparently,
more money over here.
They don't
show us any respect.
BBC doesn't.
It's not BBC, buddy.
Well, whatever that Brit company is. But here's the deal. Newcomer Shirley MacLaine. Okay, she's the new character. She's the. I'm giving you a little prelude there, JJ. You know you've seen it, but she's an American visitor. She's talking smack with Maggie Smith, who, by the way, won all kind of awards for her performances on them. And they're apparently knocking each other's values. Shirley MacLaine wears a pasty, kabuki-like makeup as armor. And Smith meets insults with bird-weary eyes, according to the story. Anyway, apparently this is the what happens in one of the episodes. I've got about 10 of these. I'm going to unveil them one at a time over the next couple of days, and we'll talk about Downton Abbey. Easily, I think the most refreshing new show, at least for us, in the last 3 or 4 years. I really enjoyed it.
When you say us, you mean just you and JJ?
Yeah.
'Cause I find it terrifically boring.
Yeah, well, we don't care.
I used to, when Buddy started talking about it, I thought, this is going to be dumb. So I sat down and watched a couple episodes.
And you found out it was dumb.
I was like, man, it's sort of a, old school type show. It's not for my demographic, but I dig it, man. I like it a lot.
It's not for my demographic either, JJ. This is before my time even. But you can learn a few things watching about history by looking at things like this. And I think it's a fascinating period of just before World War. This is World War I.
Right.
Tom, you're a historian. I'm surprised you didn't get on that part of it.
What makes it a great show? What makes any show a great show? We were just talking about Seinfeld yesterday. Totally different, but great characters.
Yeah, and great acting.
And this show has both of those.
It does. A lot of interesting characters. So we'll be watching for that on Sunday. Downton Abbey making a run at season 3, which I think is going to be the best ever, it sounds like. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. David Moore's in the house. We'll talk to David about a couple of stories that he wrote for the issues that are out now. We'll tell you what this publication is. If you haven't seen it, you ought to, because if you like family stories and neighborhood stories, things that you can relate to in your neighborhood, you're going to like this. Buddy Martin, the show is called The Voice of Ocala. You're listening to us on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Hi, I'm Dr. Terry Compton, inviting you to join us on The Voice of Ocala to discuss a painful subject, pain, not a one-size-fits-all pain, because pain is very personal and comes in all forms. That's why we need to talk about where you're hurting, and we can find out why. Then I can recommend ways to help deal with it, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, the psychological pain of loss, or the pain of physical injury. And when we define your pain, we can begin looking for ways to treat it. Did you know that a lack of vitamin C can cause severely excruciating pain? So listen to my new show, Dr. Terry, on the first Friday of each month, live from Gateway Bank at 3:30. We're all in this together. There's a better way of living. Let me help you find it on the Dr. Terry Show.
Tune in and join Dr. Terry the first Friday of each month right here on The Source.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
This is JJ LaSalva in the WOCA studios with this news update brought to you by the Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank. According to ocala.com, a 20-year-old woman shot her 6-month-old child and then turned the gun on herself Friday morning. The The woman's name is Melanie Reyes. According to Marion County Sheriff's Office, her child, Jonah Mendoza, was pronounced dead shortly after 1 p.m. Reyes remained listed in critical condition at Ocala Regional Medical Center. The shootings happened at a home in the 4800 block of Northwest 45th Court. This news break was brought to you by the Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank. Join Buddy today and every Friday from the Community Gazette Day at Gateway Bank.
We're back on the Voice of Ocala live from Gateway Bank Community Gazette Day. Beautiful upstairs rotunda. Hunter Turner's here. Buddy Martin's here. I'm Tom Schmitz. I'm here. David Moore joins us. And David, before Buddy gets you, I got to ask the question that's hot on everybody's mind. In your opinion, we asked this yesterday on the show, when is it okay to stop saying Happy New Year?
You know, I would say probably after it's good during January. After that, no good. Don't be telling me Happy New Year during February, you know? Get the whole Happy New Year out the first month of the year. Like when I saw you today. Happy New Year, Tom.
You hadn't seen me yet this year.
Exactly. And it's like the first week, so we're still good.
Now, because I see Buddy every day, can I stop saying it to him now?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's safe. Like after you see him the first time of the New Year, then it's okay to say.
Well, I said Happy New Year to him. He said, not really, you're still here. I don't know what he meant by that. I don't know what he meant by that.
It's
Did I
a
say
sign.
that? I don't know what he meant.
Well, David Moore, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
I'm digging through all these magazines. You know, I kind of feel a little bit guilty talking about these because they're not something you can buy on the stand anywhere. They're not something you can go down and pick up at the Chamber of Commerce like other magazines. It has to be mailed to your house. And these magazines are mailed specifically to your neighborhood, and not every single neighborhood gets them, but a lot of them do. So I ask you to come on for a few Fridays to explain to people who say, well, where do I get that? And, you know, what territory does it cover? Since we're relatively new at doing this, we're just finding out ourselves.
Yes.
But there are 6 magazines here in Marion County, and one, of course, in the villages. And they're split up into neighborhoods. And one of them is downtown, which is a new edition, which you're holding a copy of right now. We're going to talk about. I want you to talk about the people and the stories. And then one of them, we won't go through all of them, but one of them is also Southeast, which is, by the way, 17th Street, south of 17th Street, and all the way down to Pine. And that cover is a story about somebody that we know on this program. So let's talk about these 2 stories, and maybe we can articulate. I'm sure that even Laura's looking over here saying, what is this is about? And this is kind of relatively new, something that's just a neighborhood newsletter, and it's about families and dogs and cats and, you know, and cooking and shopping and whatever, you know, things that we do in our neighborhood, right?
Right.
Even fantasy football. You know,
it's about golf.
Yeah, well, we're not getting to that part yet. Just be glad you got a space in there, pal, right now. Stop promoting your stuff. David, you got a story, and you got to describe what you're holding and talk about who this is and what you learned about talking to these people.
Yeah, this is the Downtown Neighbor section. So you're right, it's a new edition of these magazines, and it covers the downtown area.
Everybody from Pine Street to Baseline.
Yes.
And from the boulevard, from Silver Springs Boulevard over to 17th Street.
Yes. So it's a nice area through there. It's a big stretch. Considered downtown.
Some people would call it Southeast, but it's really our downtown area.
The downtown. And the cover story this month is the Masons. It's Brad and Tracy Mason, a great family. They live in the downtown area, and you can get to their house going down, which I think is one of the most beautiful drives, and Brad talks about this in the story. If you go down 7th Street, and from downtown, it's one of those streets where it's the 2-lane streets, like you go one way for this traffic, one way for the other. So it's not just there's a median in between the 2 lanes. So it's just the most beautiful drive. You're coming up, it's the old oak trees, things like that. It's just a beautiful drive. And Brad said that they're originally from Lakeland. They moved here about 3 years ago, and he said that street really reminded them of his home growing up in Bartow. So it's one of the things that sold them on the house over there. And when they first moved here, Brad moved here with his job. He's director of lab services at Ocala Regional for Ocala Health System. And when he first moved here, they looked at this house there in the Woodfields subdivision. They looked at a whole bunch of other houses like a lot of people do, but this was the first one they looked at, and it's ultimately the one they chose. And it's a beautiful house there. And
there they are standing in front. Is that Amy Mangan's old house?
I think that is.
I think it might be. I saw she posted something like, "It looks familiar to me," she said.
Yes. Yeah. So, and here on the cover, their children, Nolan and Olivia, so beautiful kids. So they talked about how much they love Ocala, how they feel a real sense of community here, how they love the neighborhood. They love getting to know other families. There are a lot of young families in here, and they love, their son goes to A3 Elementary. They love that school. And so Tracy is the executive director for the American Cancer Society. So she's had about in the past, I think she's going close to a year in that position.
Very active.
Yeah. So it's a job she loves, and it's a cause that's close to them. So she loves going to work, knowing that she makes a difference in people's lives. So it's they're a nice family. They talk about boating, how much they've enjoyed the waters here, and a funny story. They talk about the monkeys. She said, I know the monkeys are old hat to people around here, but for us, she said when they're boating around and going on through there, they love seeing the monkeys. That's still a fun thing for them. So they're enjoying all the natural Florida, like with their boat and things like that. So it's a fun family.
We have a mixture of new families here and older families here. You have written about two of them. That's one. And then there's one called Country Club Living, a magazine that goes to the Country Club of Ocala. And there's a family story here. And this is also, why don't you talk about what that is?
Yeah, this is the Corns family. Now, they just moved here, February will be a year, so they moved here. Jessica's job with State Farm brought them here to Florida. They're originally from Indiana. So right now, let me tell you, they are enjoying the winters of Florida.
Yes,
they said normally, from November to April, they're just hunkered down inside when they're in Indiana, but they're enjoying, out by the pool. One of their favorite places to be is they live in the Country Club of Ocala, and they love the pool area that has the outdoor kitchen, outdoor living space, and they spend a lot of time there. And Dan Corns talks about, he and his wife Jessica, they have 3 daughters. So he and his girls will play rounds of golf, enjoy playing golf after school. They'll get out there and play golf, and so they're really loving the country club life, enjoying that. One of the things, being from Indiana, they haven't found here in Ocala is big basketball for their girls.
They haven't found any snow shovels either, by the way, here.
Right. No snow shovel. In fact, the girls are talking about they love going to the beach. So the girls were talking about last month. They were talking about how they wanted thinking about going surfing, taking some surf lessons. So it's a big change. But they're used to big basketball country. Dan said something like, "Hey, if you're not playing 4 nights a week and playing on Saturday, you're not playing basketball." But he hasn't really. One of his daughters in middle school. They haven't been able to find the same kind of at basketball competition.
Not as intense.
Yes,
not like the movie Hoosiers, which we all saw,
Yes, that's big basketball country there.
Yeah.
So, but they're still loving it here.
Yeah, and we talked about the old new families, and now an old family, which I don't mean they're old people, just they've been around here for a while, several generations, and this is the Briggs family. This is the southeast neighbors with Randy and Diana on the front of their house. And then their son Bo and his wife and their baby, and there's a daughter who was scheduled to be married this year, as a matter of fact. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people in this picture, all looking very happy and very handsome. There's one item in here that you probably won't notice. There's a little secret in this picture here that if you read the story, you'll see what it is. Notice what's down here.
The cat.
The cat, Delilah, who is 17 years old, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, and actually, one thing that they told me was Diana, she goes out to Publix and gets special human food and makes it for her cat. So Delilah gets good treatment. But this is an interesting story because the Briggs family, they met in college at University of Florida.
Wow.
And then she was from Mississippi, South Florida via Mississippi, and they met their senior year. They got engaged, and then Randy went off to war, so to speak. Not war. He actually was ROTC, and he had to go on. It was commissioned, and so they got assigned to Hawaii.
Wow.
Tough duty.
Yeah.
And actually, Randy found out it was available, and he jumped in there. So they went out to Hawaii, and Randy's a golfer. He's a golfer of note. He's won some championships here in town, Randy Briggs.
Yes.
And so he and his wife were in Hawaii, and by the way, he spent the first night in Hawaii in all-male quarters, officers' quarters. She had to put a jacket overhead and sneak in. But nonetheless, they found out Randy knew something about golf and about agronomy, and the general said, how about running our golf courses out here?
Oh, wow.
So that's what he did.
That's
I said, well, here's my question to you, Randy. Why did you ever leave? You're getting paid. You're wearing civilian clothes. You go to the golf course every day. You know, why would you ever leave? Well, he did leave and came back and graduated from law school and opened to practice. Story about their lives, and they've been here a long time, and how much they love Ocala. And he said, Randy said, yes, he gets asked sometimes by his lawyer friends in other big cities, well, how is life there exactly, you know, in Ocala? I mean, you know, so it's a small town. As he points out, you know, most of these people went on to bigger practices in bigger towns, which Randy did initially. And he said, look, he said, anything you can do there, I can do here. He says, it's like heart surgery. Once you crack a heart open, it's all the same, no matter where you are. So, anyway, Randy Briggs and his wife, Diana, and their family, that's the Southeast story. And we have to say this now, there's a golf columnist in there, too.
Oh, yeah.
His first column, Mr. Golf. Don't ask about the name, just go with it. Mr. Golf, Tom Schmitz, has a monthly column, because a lot of these go to golf courses like Golden, Ocala, and places like that, and he's writing interesting little tidbits and stories about golf and the information, and I'm sure he'd be glad to tell you how you can get information to his column. Right, Tom?
Yeah, all you have to do is mr.golf@rocketmail.com. Send me your stories. Your, you know, it's kind of like a fish tale, but it's about golf. So send me your stories, your funny anecdotes, why the game of golf is important to you. If you're a golfing establishment, or if you're a charity that's going to have a local golf tournament coming up in the upcoming months, let me know about that too, and I'll put that in my posting. So it's mr.golf@rocketmail.com.
Of course, like fishermen, you're allowed to lie, except about your score. That's the only thing you can. One more final note. There's a new magazine called Innovation Ocala. I know they're real proud of this over there. Kevin Reed, who's gradually becoming the most overexposed person in Ocala, almost as much as Angie Lewis. Every time I pick up the paper, I see a Kevin Reed story, as I did Sunday. He does his show here, as Angie does. Now he's got the director's update, and this is a navigation called Innovation Ocala, and it goes to power plants or business incubators. There's about 9 of them. Now Elgin Kerlock's involved in it, and I know that they're proud to have their first publication.
Oh, yeah.
No golf column in here. All right?
No golf there. No golf.
So it's been interesting so far, and if, by the way, anybody would like to, anybody would like to have a story or has a tip for a story, we can give them our email addresses. We don't have our new official ones for the Best Versions Media, but you can write me at buddy@woca.com if you've got a story idea, or you want to give Tom to give you his Mr.Golf at rocketmail.com for golf. And you have anybody you'd like to give your email address out for those who may have a story idea for you?
Yeah, just shoot yours, buddy. They can email you and you'll pass it on to me.
All right, well, I'll do your secretary.
Yeah.
No problem.
Buddy's like, yeah, thanks a lot.
No problem. All right, David, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate you coming by here on a Friday. And I'll say it one more time, Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. I think there's some great publications, some great stories, and so it's really great to be able to...
I'm excited about it. You know, and again, I still think it may sound a little bland for some people. If it's not your thing, it's not real exciting, it's not something that JJ is going to turn backflips over, or Hunter even. But I think it's great to tell stories about people. What one person said to me was, who lives in Country Club, Ocala, I don't really know my neighbors. I love the Frankie Lucas story, which you did, by the way, which was printed last month. Because I got to know about Michelle, his wife, and something. So it's interesting. We are interested in each other, and we don't communicate too much. So sometimes this magazine can bridge that gap.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the selling points for this magazine, is that people love to know about their neighbors. So this is a great way to get to know your neighbors and get some common ground you can talk about.
As is this show, by the way, which is why it's called Voice of Ocala.
There you go.
David, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
David Moore talking about the new neighborhood publication. Here comes the cover boy up the steps right now from there. All right, we'll take a break. We'll return to Gateway Bank for the Community Gazette Day after this timeout on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed trade allowance. Offers don't combine.
I'm a car dealer who is feeling blue. I have too many cars and don't know what to do. If you're willing to put down $1 or $2, my misfortune can be a bonus for you.
Hello, this is Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales, and I'm going loony. Last month I took in too many trades, and now I've got cars in spades. Plus, additional cars are arriving daily. I have no idea where to put them, and I need your help. That means this week, 27 cars must go.
So if you've got the desire to drive a nicer, newer car in $2, you're in luck. It's my New Year, Blue Year Drive for 2 here sale.
Bad credit? Don't sweat it.
Our For the People credit approval process can help you drive away today, even if it takes some extra rhyming and reasoning with the banks to get it done. Our lot is full, and that's no bull. $2 down is all you'll pay to drive a nicer, newer car today.
I'm Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales, and I'm a dealer for the people. See us in Ocala or Bellevue.
Or call 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
On Mondays, AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Regine DeBono. She was born in France. She's a chemist. She studied marketing for the arts at New York University. She's a playwright and a best-selling author. Her book is called Belated Love Letters to My Husband.
Open for debate, where both sides of one issue will be discussed.
And Matt Gibbs will be in the studio. He, of course, is the owner of Sunrise Automotive and a qualified mechanic. He comes on to host his program. It's called Auto Repair with Personal Care, and he'll take your calls to answer your questions about your car.
Jay Richards is an award-winning editor. He's going to be speaking about C.S. Lewis's book, The Magician's Twin. C.S. Lewis on science, scientism, and society, an invaluable tool in challenging Darwinists' often dictatorial dominance over their most effective critics.
And then we'll have fun with Joe, and we'll go over some of the other award shows that are happening at the beginning of 2013. Maybe this time, Robin, maybe we'll look at the Grammys.
Ooh, nice.
All on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
All right, welcome back to the program. Going to wrap up this hour. We thought we were going to have Tom Ingram, but he wandered away, so we'll have to get him on the flip-flop.
Miss Klein just told him that we were ready for him on the radio.
All right, well, he's the CEO. He can come and go as he pleases.
It is his bank.
We'll let him do that. So,
here he comes. Here he comes.
We've got about a minute and a half to go, so we might get him on. We might not. We'll see.
We may.
And if not, we'll let you talk about your golf column. Oh, no, we don't want
No. Okay, here's Tom. Lucky for everyone, Tom's here.
All right, Tom.
Hey,
how are
I made
you?
it. I made it. I'm great. How
Just
are you
barely.
doing, buddy?
We got about a couple of minutes. I wanted you to talk about where you're going, by the way. And for a guy who's been sick, you've been under the weather. You were in the holidays. You were kind of down, weren't you?
I was. I think half of our town has been down with this creeping crud that's going around. It's been about a 2-week process, and I think I'm on the other side of it. So, yes, I will be heading out tomorrow morning to the island of Grand Cayman and we have a dive trip we're doing, scuba dive, and it's part of a dive master class being conducted by Bill Foote, the owner of Ocala Dive here in beautiful Ocala.
I met Bill, didn't I?
Yeah, I think he did.
Down at Pie, did I meet him down there?
Yeah, he was down there.
Yeah.
And he's been instructing a fine group of young men for a course in Master Scuba and Dive Master.
Nice.
So we
How many will you have?
We'll have 4 students and then our instructor, Bill Foote. So we have Phil Bledsoe, local CPA, Greg Graham, our police chief.
You're taking the chief of police down there?
We are, and we're taking Bryce Peak, a member of DBA and future president of DBA. And then me, and we have quite a crew.
Well, I know people don't know you have a place down there. You and your friends have a little place that you go and stay, and you do these dive trips 2 or 3 times a year.
Right. We have a place on the northwest point called it's the condo complex, Bonnie's Arch. It is right off the ocean. You can walk out your back door, and you can within 100 yards be on a wall dive, which for people that don't dive, a wall dive, you look off the edge of the wall and you're looking down into 3,000 to 6,000 feet of water. So it's quite spectacular.
I do those once in a while myself. So, I want to ask you about. I got a call from Rick Allen from the Star Banner today, and he asked me a question which I couldn't answer, and I don't know if it can be answered. They wanted to know about if you knew about somebody using a small submarine in the 1990s to go into Lake Ware. Have you heard about that at all?
I have not heard about that.
There's apparently one at a local antique shop, and they said it was used in the 1990s in Lake Ware to explore something. I don't know. So I said, well, if anybody would know, it would be Tom Ingram or George Albright or one of those people.
Yeah, George would be a great guy to talk to.
George Albright Jr., not the tax collector, his dad.
Right. My guess would be it would be maybe Gene Camp in the early days out exploring. Before he was on top of the water, he was underwater.
Or it could have been Jacques Cousteau. You never know.
Yeah. But the visibility is not great.
Could have been Mark Emery.
I would. I'll do some research on that for you.
All right.
Get back.
We travel safely when you get down there. Make sure you get up out of the water. Don't come up too quick. I don't know. We don't want to have any 911 cases down there. Yeah. You guys have a good time. Enjoy yourself, and
thank you.
We'll see you on the flip flop when you get back up here with the rest of us mortal human beings. All right.
All right. I look forward to that, and I'll make sure I send you a few pictures.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Thanks, Tom.
All right. See you, buddy. Thanks.
All right, Tom Ingram, CEO, boss man here at Gateway, going to the Grand Caymans. Boy, I tell you, some people live right, don't they?
You and I must not.
I guess we don't. I guess we. On the other hand, you get to go on the golf course and write about it.
Well,
so I don't know. I don't feel so sorry about you.
I found out that this golf column thing, now that I can prove that I'm writing it, somebody told me if you can prove that you write a golf column, your golf's paid for. So maybe that's going to help me. I don't know.
You know what? Why is it always something free about you all the time? Hunter, it's either about food or something free. And I have a friend who says to me, my favorite words are free and golf. I got a guy whose favorite words are free golf and food.
Free food, yeah.
All right, that wraps up hour 1 of the program called The Voice of Ocala from Gateway Bank. Community Gazette Day right here on the program called The Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mama who never was around, but she grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on an Indiana night.
Hi, I'm Dr. Terry Compton, inviting you to join us on The Voice of Ocala to discuss a painful subject, pain, not a one-size-fits-all pain, because pain is very personal and comes in all forms. That's why we need to talk about where you're hurting, and we can find out why. Then I can recommend ways to help deal with it, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, the psychological pain of loss, or the pain of physical injury. And when we define your pain, we can begin looking for ways to treat it. Did you know that a lack of vitamin C can cause severely excruciating pain? So listen to my new show, Dr. Terry, on the first Friday of each month, live from Gateway Bank at 3:30. We're all in this together. There's a better way of living. Let me help you find it on The Dr. Terry Show.
Tune in and join Dr. Terry the first Friday of each month right here on The Source.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Hi, I'm Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness, Ocala's premier small group and personal training fitness studio. Did you know you can achieve all your fitness goals, whether that's losing weight, getting fit, or training for a personal best, all with no membership fees? Have you ever been embarrassed or intimidated at a big gym because you're not a Greek god or a size 0 supermodel? Have you ever felt like your gym would rather you not even show up? At KMF, we have a team approach that focuses on small classes and personal training, and you'll feel like family, not just another number. No more boring treadmills or endless reps. Our classes are fun, energetic, and get you the results you want. And I should know, with the help of our great trainers, I lost over 100 pounds in 8 jean sizes, and I did it using no heavy equipment and no magic pills, just fun and effective workouts. And yes, I did say fun. Come join us at KMF. Visit our website at kmfocala.com or like us on Facebook. Again, that was kmfocala.com.
Are you wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars on termite retreat fees? If you're not with Turner Pest Control, you probably are. Turner Pest Control offers the industry's only termite and pest control package that never charges retreat fees, ever. You can get started today for only $99. This is a value of $500 or more. This includes treatments, installation of monitoring stations, quarterly pest control, and a lifetime guarantee, all for an unbelievable low $99. Even if you have another pest control provider, visit turnerpest.com to find out how you can avoid paying those high termite retreat fees.
Well, the new year is upon us, and that means getting to those forgotten projects that you promised you would. So whether you're tackling a small honey-do list or building the Taj Mahal, Sunbelt Rentals will help you get the job done right with the right tools. From carpet cleaners to excavators, Sunbelt Rentals has what you need. So what are you waiting for? Get it done. Rent it now. From Sunbelt Rentals, located on Highway 27, just a half-mile east of I-75, or visit sunbeltrentals.com. Get it done. Rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're ocalaforsale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to ocalaforsale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Woman Gabby Giffords is in Newtown, Connecticut, site of the school massacre. Giffords, who survived a mass shooting 2 years ago, is meeting with the families of the 20 children and 6 staff who were gunned down at Sandy Hook Elementary. An American Eagle pilot is under arrest and facing charges after failing a breathalyzer test. He was busted while prepping for the flight at Minneapolis Airport. Passengers hadn't yet been boarded. The Senate and the House wasting no time passing a nearly $10 billion Hurricane Sandy relief package. Whether or not they'll just as quickly okay the remaining $50 billion requested remains to be seen. Well, despite fears the economy would fall off the fiscal cliff, many people found jobs last month, but the unemployment rate is still stuck at 7.8%. 2012, it was the worst year for whooping cough in this country in nearly 6 decades. More than 40,000 cases were reported last year. Experts say it runs a multi-year cycle, and last year may have been a peak. This is ABC News.
You see and hear ad after ad about owning gold, but they raise more questions than they answer. That's why American Bullion has created a comprehensive free gold guide packed with unbiased information about gold as an investment. Get the facts before you buy. Call American Bullion now for your free copy of the gold guide at 800-479-2177. That's 800-479-2177. Are you tired of stressing out about the economy and ready to take control of your retirement funds? American Bullion has a precise, tax-free, and hassle-free system to convert your existing IRA or former 401k into a gold IRA. That's why they're the leader in gold IRA rollovers. It's all spelled out in the free American Bullion Gold Guide that answers all of your questions in plain and simple English. Call for your free copy today at 800-479-2177. That's 800-479-2177. American Bullion. 800-479-2177.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry. We didn't leave you.
He's gone. He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
All right, welcome back to Hour 2 of the program called The Voice of Ocala. In this hour, we hope to be talking to Melissa Townsend from the Discovery Center about the first Friday Art Walk, which is taking place today. Hopefully the weather holds up for everybody. And she may have one of the artists with her, which is good. We want to be sure we publicize the artists. Right here in this room and on the second floor of Gateway Bank, we have this rotunda. I just noticed the big wall was missing from downtown, where Tom Ingram and his people feature a lot of artists. Looking over here now, the artwork for the ARC over the fireplace. That's pretty darn good color right there. You know those two fish, colorful fish?
Oh, yeah,
there?
it is nice. And I like the one with the dock and the boat right there, too.
Yeah, and then there's a Bruce Mozart picture right there, which is from the Mozart show. That's arguably one of the most famous palm trees in the state of Florida.
Yes.
It's the horseshoe palm at Silver Springs. It grew that way.
Yep.
And as far as I can remember, that's a long time, that horseshoe palm has been there. And many, many photographs made right there. So anyway, this is kind of an artsy place. After all, we're kind of artsy kind of guys. If you listen to the show, we talked earlier about the new publications, Southeast Neighbors, some of the stories that are being publicized there. We also talked about Downton Abbey. You know, we used to have Hunter as the culture vulture here, but who got left his sign to go with the Nutcracker? Not Hunter.
Buddy.
Yeah, Buddy. I don't know. He called himself the culture vulture. He went to one play, and I guess he figured that was it, so I don't know.
There's a new play. Oh, well, I'll turn Hunter up there.
Yeah, there we go. I've been to the Nutcracker before. It's a very good.
Oh,
play.
so you don't have to go back?
Well, I should go back. You're right.
Yeah. So Hunter's working on a couple of culture vulture assignments. So
there's a new play going on at the Ocala Civic Theater.
Mm-hmm, it is. Just read about that.
That I'm going to try my best to get out and go see.
Well, I thought Hunter did that. It was his assignment. You taking it away from him now?
6 women with brain death or expiring minds want to know. It's not for the underage, though. It's for 18 and up. And I'm really looking forward to seeing that. It's playing this month from January 4th to the 20th, and I'm really looking forward to going to see it.
Yeah? All right.
I'm a Renaissance man, buddy.
Yes,
a little theater,
a
little movie.
Yeah, boy.
A little concert action, a little symphony.
Author.
No, I'm not an author,
yeah.
sir.
Author. So. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the crime stuff we just touched on last hour. A couple of those are disturbing stories, and we don't like to deal with crime too much. The fact of the matter remains is that it's something that we're all worried about. And, you know, the whole thing with
what happened in Sandy Hook and the gun issue, and another case today of hearing about a baby shot with a gun. It's just so disturbing, isn't it?
Melanie Reyes, a 20-year-old mother of a 6-month-old, shot and killed her 6-month-old child, then turned the gun on herself Friday morning, according to ocala.com. Authorities have said that Reyes remains listed in critical condition at Ocala Regional Medical Center. The shootings happened at her parents' home in the 4800 block of Northwest 45th Court. A relative saw a Facebook posting from Miss Reyes saying that she was going to commit suicide after killing her small child. The relative then notified the Marion County Sheriff's Office. They went to the home and found a young woman with a self-inflicted gunshot wound and her deceased baby there beside her. So a sad, sad story here in Marion County.
Certainly is, and it's one of those stories you just flinch and think, oh, I didn't want to hear about it, But it's the reality of where we are today when people start shooting babies. Man,
awful.
It's like Armageddon must be coming around the corner. Let's talk for a second about the new improved show, and we're going to add stuff as we go. And one of the shows we're going to have is Ask the Cops. I've got commitments from both Chief of Police Greg Graham, and I've got the Sheriff, Chris Blair, who will be, by the way, he'll be the new sheriff as of the 8th of this month. Been invited to his, I don't know if you call it inauguration or not. What do you call it, sheriff? Well, anyway, he gets installed as a sheriff.
Just swearing in, buddy.
And swearing in, okay, whatever that is. And then they're going to be together for an hour once a month, and they're going to answer questions on the law called Ask the Cops. That should be a really interesting show. As we we're going to continue to upgrade the show, make it better, more interesting, better guests. Hope to have more female voices talking on the program, which will be a relief. Hearing those big lugs talking all the time. Hunter, what do you think? Huh? And as we go through, we'll tell you about some of the things we got planned. We're kind of excited about that. And one thing I endeavor to do is have an educational stories. And this is for JJ, okay? I always try to educate JJ. What's JJ's favorite thing to do?
Watch soccer.
And football or soccer, right?
He likes.
I love to run the board, buddy.
He likes. Good answer, JJ. He likes the adult beverages made in the Milwaukee or St. Louis area.
And what I always tell JJ, what I say to him yesterday, he didn't like to hear it. I said, nothing good happens after midnight.
Nothing.
Don't wear a hoodie in your neighborhood after midnight. All that kind of stuff. I try to educate him. He doesn't understand. When he's 45, he'll understand. He's only 22 or 3 now. JJ, here's one for you. A Los Angeles man in his 60s was killed Tuesday when his refrigerator tipped over as he reached for a beverage. So it can be hazardous to your health. CBS Los Angeles reported the appliance located in the man's basement collapsed as he attempted to grab a beer. The man's death came during what should have been, quote-unquote, an everyday enjoyable moment.
So at least he died doing what he loved.
Well, I knew you'd say that. I know you'd say he died doing what he loved. Yeah, there you go. So just be careful, JJ. When I tell you things like nothing good happens after midnight, don't wear a hoodie in your neighborhood, be careful when you reach in your refrigerator for a beer.
So
okay,
only use coolers.
All right. Okay, Melissa Townsend will be here shortly. Hopefully she'll be here. She said she'll be here. She's supposed to be bringing an artist with her. And
she's supposed to be bringing an artist.
Yeah. So we'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll rejoin you on the other side right here on the Voice of Ocala on Community Gazette Day in the Gateway Bank Rotunda. You listen to us on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial and engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialists. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name. Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
In Clark, we trust.
Hi, this is Clark Howard. Join me every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
Well, another year has come and gone, and this year there's some, let's call them fresh opportunities at Ford Lincoln of Ocala. Start with America's freshest lineup and add in nothing short of Ford's MP Genius. 7 models EPA rated at 40 miles per gallon highway or better, so you can, well, go further. Not to mention Ford beats Toyota in fuel economy ratings in every segment where they both compete. All right, Ford has you covered at the pump. Now let's talk about how Ford Lincoln of Ocala has you covered on the price. Besides Ford Lincoln of Ocala's exclusive low price guarantee, they're sweetening that up even more by picking up your first 3 payments. You heard it, Ford Lincoln of Ocala will pick up your first 3 payments on select new 2013 Fords. How fresh is that? Freshen up your new year by a visit to Ford Lincoln of Ocala, test drive America's best-selling vehicles, and let us pick up your first 3 payments on your new Ford during their America's Freshest Lineup sale. Well, what are you waiting for? Nothing stays fresh forever. Head to Ford Lincoln of Ocala now or point and click your way to freshness at FordLincolnofOcala.com.
Hi, this is Brad from Ocala Aviation. How would you like to have someone give you $4,000? Call me.
Brad, can't end the commercial that way.
Why not?
Because you have to tell them why you're giving away $4,000.
No, I don't. It's $4,000.
Yeah, I know, but for what?
Oh, I see. You mean like tell them it's for a flight scholarship that gives young people a chance to fulfill their dreams of becoming a pilot?
Yeah, something like that.
Nah, just give them the phone number. It's $4,000.
All right. What's the phone number?
352-861-7484.
Okay, that works. Hello? Can you hear me? Because if you can, then so can your customers. Radio works. Call today to advertise your business right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
The heart of the county. We're WOCA, News Talk 1370.
This is JJ LaSalva in the WOCA studios with this news update brought to you by the Country Club of Ocala. According to Ocala.com, former U.S. Representative Cliff Stearns has left Congress but not Washington's political landscape. On Monday, the 24-year House veteran from Ocala will launch his new career with a high-powered Washington lobbying firm, according to executives at APCO Worldwide, which announced the hiring of Stearns on Friday. An APCO representative said Stearns will serve on the firm's International Advisory Council, a panel of more than 80 high rollers. This news update was brought to you by the Country Club of Ocala. If you would like to schedule a special event at one of Ocala's premier facilities, call 352-237-6644 today.
We're back on the Voice of Ocala live from Gateway Bank for Community Gazette Day. I'm now joined in the second floor rotunda where a lot of art is displayed on a normal basis Melissa Townsend, the Community Cultural Arts Manager, and we're going to talk about the First Friday Art Walk. Melissa, thanks for showing up.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
It's that time, isn't it? First Friday.
It is that time. It's the first Friday Art Walk for 2013, and we're going to be celebrating emerging artists in our community. We've got a lot of folks, some new artists joining us this month, new visual artists. We also have quite a few different performing artists joining us. The Vanguard High School players are going to be providing improv theater throughout the event. We've got a great band, NBOL, will be downtown on the square from 7:30 to 9 o'clock providing music. And this is a group of Marion County residents born and raised here. They're nice young men, John Garneau, Bo Corneliu, Joe Weaver, and Andrew Thoreau, all from different schools here in Marion County. We're real proud to have them downtown. Madison Street Academy of Visual and Performing Arts is going to have a booth, and we definitely want folks to stop by and see Miss Ambria Olmstead. She's an 11-year-old artist that joins us for each art walk, and she has a little table called Kitty Corner, and she's going to be at the Scientology Mission of Ocala. And the art walk's a really unique event, and I brought Jody Scheibel here today with me from Repurpose Me Art, and he's a perfect example of how the art walk can help an artist to fine-tune their craft and give them an opportunity to present their work to the public and sell and gain feedback and further their talent. Jody, you want to talk a little bit about what the art walk means to you?
The art walk is a wonderful experience for artists, fresh artists. I can't say young artists because there's artists of all ages. To step out. You know, I started a year and a half ago and was given an opportunity to join the First Friday Art Walks, and I had never ever done this before. And now, fast forward a year and a half later, I'm doing national juried art shows all over the country. So it really gives you an open door to get out there and meet the public and allow them to critique your work. And
now, the First Friday Art Walk, we say downtown, but we're not talking, and you said there's music on the square, but we're not talking just the square. This is an event that has really taken over most of the downtown area.
It has. We span over 15 blocks. We go north of the boulevard. We have 5 different downtown galleries, so we've got interior spaces as well. And our business partners, we've got over 30 of them, also house some artists inside their shops and restaurants. So the artists are on the sidewalks, like Jody. He's in front of Shannon Roth. And but you'll also find artists in the different galleries and some of the restaurants as well, in businesses. And we have a map that's on our Facebook page that kind of gives folks some guidance when they go downtown so they don't miss anybody. It lists each of our business partners and the artist that has been paired with them and tells them just a little bit about what type of art to expect, if that's an artist with jewelry or an artist with paintings.
Now, Jody, you've said you've been doing this for a year and a half. Has it been, not only is it an open door, it's open doorways for you, but what has the success of, how has the art walk itself been a success for you?
Actually, it's let me be known in the city. You know, we see people and they either know me. You know, I do the farmers market on Saturdays, which has become a wonderful
downtown farm market on the square.
Farmers, yep. It's artisans are allowed in there on certain conditions, and it's become a like a how should you say, a storefront for me. Every Saturdays they can find me there, and they know every first Friday can find me in the same spot. I started out down the road, and I've moved up into on the square in front of Shannon Roth, and we've been there, and it's very good, and people know exactly where to find us. So, over this course of a year and a half, it's really helped build our business that way.
Not a bad place to be in front of Shannon's collection. She's got a nice store, so if you're in front of her store, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, and good music too out there too.
Now, this First Friday Art Walk has been growing by leaps and bounds. You're 15 blocks now. Is there plans to keep expanding, or has it reached its capacity?
No, I think it'll continue to expand as the downtown core expands. The nucleus is definitely the area stretching from, I would say, the downtown square towards Citizen Circle, but our downtown is currently undergoing a big boom, and we see a lot of revitalization, and that's why the Art Walk has stretched north of the Boulevard this year, and we hope that it'll continue to grow further north of the Boulevard as well as further to the west. We now have artists on Southwest First Avenue, in front of La Cuisine and in front of Pie, and we have a brand new restaurant that's opened up further down on
Feta.
Yes, Feta Cuisine. So, and they would love to become part of the Art Walk. So as we have more businesses that join in our event, and we are growing. Every month we get more applications from artists. So we are at a point where they're both kind of growing simultaneously, and we think that will continue.
So then there is you have to go through a vetting process of some sort to get involved with First Friday Art Walk.
You do. There is a registration form, and it really is just to verify that that you're bringing art. We want to make sure that this is.
We don't want Lady Gaga with raw meat pinned to her walking around the downtown square.
Some people might say that's a form of art, but we don't want manufactured items.
Certainly.
We want something that's been handcrafted or altered by hand in some way, and it really is not meant for crafts. This is meant to be art of some sort, and so we have a registration form that needs to be completed, and that should be submitted along with a few images of the work that will be displayed, and that form could be obtained by contacting me. And either at my phone number, 352-401-3900, or by email at mtownsend, TOWNSEND, at ocalafl.org. And again, we're on Facebook, so you can look us up on Facebook and message me through that as well.
And when you say art, you're not talking about just paintings or drawings. There could be jewelry, handmade jewelry, art, handmade pottery. Art encompasses much more than just etchings, sketches, and paintings.
It does, and it also includes the performing arts. And
right.
We're always looking for more musicians and actors and street performers to join the event as well. And so we have an application, one for visual artists and one for performing artists, and it works for individuals or organizations. We're always looking for organizations to join the event, not only art organizations, but any organization, whether it's for-profit or non-profit, if they want to be involved in the arts and maybe provide a public art activity, a free activity for the public, we would like to partner up with them and make it happen. The event really has unlimited possibilities, and we are always seeking more partners to grow it and enhance it further.
Well, now, Jody, yours is for profit though. You're out there on the square.
Yeah.
You're trying to sell some of your artwork, of course.
Right, as with majority of the artists are, and they're starving artists. We all are. Mine. I work in vintage silverware. I make sculptures, jewelry.
And I'm wearing two pieces today. I've got a ring and a pendant that Jody created.
I did not
got
realize,
lots of compliments.
I did not realize that pendant was silverware. I just thought it was a nice pendant. It is, because it is a nice pendant. It is,
and I have a matching ring to go with it.
Very nice.
Yep. And I have my eye on a matching bracelet.
And to think, when I was in my 20s and juvenile, I used to do that to silverware in the Waffle House late at night.
Yeah. I heard it's making a comeback that way.
Well, so the Art Walk is tonight, the first Friday of every month.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tonight from what time?
From 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m.
And it encompasses 15 blocks of downtown, and if you need a map, your Facebook page has one.
The Facebook page has one, and also they could look for the young ladies walking around the event in red shirts that say Art Ambassadors, and they'll be handing out the maps on all the street corners. We have volunteers from Westport High School. They routinely come, the same gals, every first Friday, and there's about 5 of them, and they do a great job.
And if it's a little overcast, that's not going to deter you. The artists will still be out and still...
They will be out. We are a rain or shine event. The business partners will accommodate the artists inside their locations if we have a rain event.
Just another event to show how vibrant downtown has become here in Ocala.
Yes, downtown and also our residents, our creative talent, how vibrant they are.
Well, Jody, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully you'll have lots of people stop by, see you in front of Shannon Roth. Jody will be in front of Shannon Roth today for the First Friday Art Walk from 6 to 9. Melissa, as always, it's wonderful to see you.
Thank you very much
Everything
for
you
having
do
us.
for the city, everything you do for starving artists, his words, but I understand what he means. Everything you do for them and everything you do for this show, The Voice of Ocala. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yep. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to try to find out where Buddy Martin is. He went downstairs. I smelled cookies baking, and he just bolted downstairs. So he's probably having a Cookie Monster moment or something downstairs. Who knows? We'll try to find Buddy Martin next on The Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. Hey, remember, First Friday Art Walk, 6 to 9 p.m. tonight in beautiful downtown Ocala. Check it out. You're listening to us on The Source.
Recently, I had a great conversation with General Manager Pat Murray on the special events at Country Club of Ocala.
We have a lot of events, special events here that are geared towards the family. Easter comes to mind. We have an Easter bunny who hops around on the driving range, and we usually hide somewhere in a neighborhood of 3,000 eggs and turn them loose and let them go harvest the eggs. We have a great family celebration here on the 4th of July where it's a traditional cookout, if you will, and as the sun goes down, the driving range becomes alive with probably one of the better fireworks displays in the area. Breakfast with Santa is a big deal.
Country Club of Ocala, where the Easter Bunny, Santa, and all the children, large and small, are a big deal on every special occasion. For more information, call 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of the Monday Gator Report right here on The Source. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on The Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
On Mondays, AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Regine DeBono. She was born in France. She's a chemist. She studied marketing for the arts at New York University. She's a playwright and a best-selling author. Her book is called Belated Love Letters to My Husband.
Open for debate, where both sides of one issue will be discussed.
And Matt Gibbs will be in the studio. He, of course, is the owner of Sunrise Automotive and a qualified mechanic. He comes on to host his program. It's called Auto Repair with Personal Care, and he'll take your calls to answer your questions about your car.
Jay Richards is an award-winning editor. He's going to be speaking about C.S. Lewis's book, The Magician's Twin. C.S. Lewis on science, scientism, and society, an invaluable tool in challenging Darwinists' often dictatorial dominance over their most effective critics.
And then we'll have fun with Joe, and we'll go over some of the other award shows that are happening at the beginning of 2013. Maybe this time, Robin, maybe we'll look at the Grammys.
Ooh, nice.
All on the next AM Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Digital Graphics Reborn. Phoenix Graphics. When you need vehicle graphics, banners, t-shirts, window graphics, you need to call Phoenix Graphics at 368-2404. When you need building signs, vehicle wraps, yard signs, realty signs, business cards, you need to call 368-2404. Phoenix Graphics. Digital Graphics Reborn.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Internet addiction is real because it takes over sufferers' lives, costing them their savings, job, their relationships. And the only way for internet addicts to regain control is by getting professional treatment. The point is to not expect your partner to be everything in your life. That's a big mistake. When you're self-sufficient, you do add strength to your relationship because you don't depend on your partner to fill all of your emotional need.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
This is JJ LaSalle in the WOCA studios with this news update brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. According to ocala.com, a 20-year-old woman shot her 6-month-old child and then turned the gun on herself Friday morning. The woman's name is Melanie Reyes, according to the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Her child, Jonah Mendoza, was pronounced dead shortly after 1 p.m. Reyes remained listed in critical condition at Ocala Regional Medical Center. The shootings happened at a home in the 4800 block of Northwest 45th Court. This news update was brought to you by the Angie Lewis State Farm Agency. Join Angie weekly as she joins Buddy with her Biz Buzz or Good Neighbor Award.
All right, welcome back to the program. Voice of Ocala, live from Gateway Bank on Community Gazette Day. Coming up just a moment, an old friend is in the house.
People just stopping by all over.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Before we go there, I wanted to mention something about Downton Abbey, one more thing.
This show already.
As a matter of fact, now that Tom said that, I'm going to talk about the rest of the program. So there, because he's so persistent about it. Hey, JJ, here's the thing you have to do. You got to remember. That's fine. Go ahead. Goodbye. You know, you learn about things from the darndest places. I think it was Robert Frost who was asked one time where he found out his news. He said he never listened to the radio, he didn't watch TV, he didn't read a newspaper, and of course there was no internet. And somebody said, well, how do you get your information? He said, from my gardener. And the person said, but what if the gardener doesn't know about it? He said, if the gardener doesn't know about it, it's not important enough for me to know. So that, we all have our little filters. I thought about this as I read the story today about Shirley MacLaine. She of the kind of has a little bit of an unusual philosophy about life and death, as you know. Nonetheless, they asked her how she got on Downton Abbey, which she's going to be as of this week, the first show, I think, Sunday night. She said she heard about it from her hairdresser. She had never seen the show. Her hairdresser actually told her about it. She went home and watched it and said, I want to be on that show. And there you go. That's Shirley MacLaine. So you never know. Your hairdresser, your bartender, or whatever can tell you a lot of information. And speaking of information, nobody has more than the person we call J9, Janine Robbins, who has this long title from the city with I don't even know what it is anymore, the manager of content information and whatever that is. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's just good to see you again.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Thanks for letting me drop in.
Well, I'm glad you're here. And by the way, are you in mourning?
I am in mourning. But it was a great season. And I think if you pull up tapes, I thought we would be back in August 8-5, and we're 12-2. So,
11-2.
11-2. Sorry.
You know, it's funny. This is the third Gator fan I've talked to in the last 2 days who have used that same figure, 12.
I don't know.
Somehow, I don't know what it is, but somehow they got it in there. Today, walked upstairs talking to a guy who was complaining about the fact that the Gators had raised their ticket prices, and said, well, when we won 12 games, I thought, and this is the third time in through that. So apparently, Mustang's done a pretty good job of selling it.
Speaking of football, I watched the Oregon game last night,
Yes.
and I saw something I'd never seen before.
Which
Did
one?
you watch it? Which was
I
the
did.
1-point safety.
Oh,
Did
yes.
you see that last night?
Yes, I did.
And the commentators, I don't know who was calling the game, but one of them said, I've only ever seen, he's been doing it 30 years, I've only ever seen it one time.
Musburger.
Is that who it was?
Yes.
I've never seen that before. It was crazy.
It's one of the weirdest. It never happens. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Okay, I played football for 20 years.
Never heard
I
of
have
it.
no idea what y'all are talking about.
Yeah, I actually, I turned the channel and turned back and saw the replay.
Right.
But I didn't hear the commentary.
They just said it never happens. And even the ref, he said, this is a very unusual, I don't remember his exact words. But
Well, what was it?
Okay,
what was it?
extra point was blocked.
Right.
And then the team that blocked it recovered it, but then they fumbled into the end zone.
Okay.
And so they ended up giving the kicking team that 1 point that they just missed.
Huh.
I see. Because if the reason why, if they return it, they get a point.
Right.
So.
Yep.
But
it was history in the making.
I'm surprised that they knew the rule. I'd never heard of it myself.
I played 20 years. I've never heard that rule.
Yeah, but Tom, you take a lot of shots to the head.
I did take lots of shots to the head.
I don't know, but
it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. All right, so Janine, we haven't seen you. You got new changes down at the office. You got new people working for you.
I do.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yes, we are very happy to have Pamela Calero working in the public communication office. We stole her from the College of Central Florida. She worked for their foundation for several years.
We know about that College of Central Florida. We have a couple of people there ourselves.
Yeah.
From College of Central Florida who make this program what it is. An abject failure, by the way, but go ahead.
Oh. And so she's been with us a couple of weeks, and she's taking over for Janie Pope, who moved on to be the Central Business District Program Manager. And love to bring her by and let you meet her. She is a lovely young lady and is already off and running with very little direction, and it's great to have her. So hopefully that will free me up a little more to come and visit.
Well, I hope so. And Tom has had a nice visit with Melissa, First Friday Art Walk. Now, you're good about keeping us up to speed here, which is what I don't like whenever you go undercover.
When I go to Mars?
When you go to Mars. I wrote her a note that said, have you gone to Mars or what? Because you kind of keep us up to speed, and we need to be coached up here. What is going on that we should know about in the city?
Oh, goodness.
Tell us all the good stuff, too, by the way, everything.
Well,
give it up.
I mean, this is kind of boring, but we're ramping up for a strategic planning session with City Council next week, which is an annual event where the City Council members and the mayor get together and determine the direction for the city for the upcoming year. It's very important. It's open to the public, and we focus on goals and priorities, and then the departments kind of align their activities related to those priorities and those objectives. So that's a pretty big deal. I know it's kind of boring.
It is very boring.
I know. I'm sorry.
But it is what you do.
It is.
I mean, I understand that. I'm like one of those guys who I go to city council meeting, you start reading all these things, I got to say, I got to take a nap. I can't listen to all this stuff.
My question is, do you have any of those free concerts or anything coming up on the beautiful Citizen Circle?
Operative word being free for Tom. He always likes that word free.
Janie is working very diligently right now to establish a concert series. We will probably do a small one in the spring, and then we'll try and do a larger one in the fall. I'm not sure who at this point. We're investigating those things. Now that the holidays are over, she's kind of freed up to focus on Citizen Circle.
That's such a great venue, Citizen Circle.
It is.
I when it originally opened, I thought, a little place for kids to go play in the water during the daytime, and homeless people to chill out in the shade. But it's actually a very nice. But I've eaten lunch there. Sat on the wall a couple times eating lunch there. Got lunch to go from one of the places downtown and ate sitting at Citizen Circle. It's a very nice addition to the downtown area.
It is, and if City Hall is open with Melissa's work, we have art exhibits down on the first floor and up on the second floor where the city manager's office is, and the public is welcome to come in and take a look at that. It's local artists, and we rotate those displays every couple of months. It's really nice.
Let me ask about that for a second. I have a personal interest in the art thing. I want to ask you about. I know, as you said, we have artwork all over in the buildings, city buildings, county buildings, whatever, courthouse, which is not your, by the way, but still, our governmental buildings have artwork in it.
Yes.
One of the people I think is the most important artist we've ever had here is Peggy Watts. Peggy Watts has been doing this for 40-something, almost 50 years. She's painted and she's drawn, and she has absolutely exquisite paintings and work of old ocala, which she did in pencil or pen and then colored. And it's beautifully done, and it looks exactly like it used to look. And I happened to have been doing a story on the Watts family, and I ran across her, and I asked her where those paintings were and some of that work. She said most of them are in the Holiday Inn Express.
Really?
Yes. And I'm thinking to myself,
on Pine? The Holiday Inn Express on Pine?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, somebody bought for their collections, and I'm thinking, here's one of some of my most important artwork we have anywhere in our city. Why isn't it? We don't have a museum, right? So why don't we make an effort to go and find these things and say to somebody, would you donate this, or at least a couple of these pictures to a really, like one thing Tom Ingram, I got to give it up for him here, is he's very mindful of artwork, does a very good job of celebrating people like Bruce Mozart, the ARC, and many artists who've come here. And to me, you as a city girl, and I'm a city boy, right?
Yes.
Is that I think our city and the artwork in our city, like First Friday Art Walk, the artwork that needs to be preserved. It needs to be a place where we can put a spotlight on it. Just a thought.
Absolutely. I mean, if you'll forward me her information, I can get that to Melissa.
Well, she's out of the loop now.
Right.
I'm the one who brought it up to her attention,
right.
Asking her, because I said, my kids said to me every year, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? I say, nothing, nothing, socks and underwear, nothing, nothing, nothing. You know, and I really don't. But I thought to myself, if I really want to do something really nice, you know, that said that one president for 10 years, you know, I would love to have a Peggy Watts of old Ocala. I don't know how much it costs, how you get it, but it's something that's of value to us, not monetarily as much as it, and I'm sure it's not cheap, as it is important to our community, because when you put her work down, she's done this for only almost a half a century, and she's told the story on her landscape pieces. She does now religious paintings, but her work on old Ocala, somewhere there's got to be a painting, even City Hall or something, that Peggy Watts did. Has to be.
There must be.
Well, would you put your crack staff on that, please? Which used to be just you.
right. Me, myself, and I. So now it's me and Pamela, which is so great.
Yeah. One more final thought.
Yeah.
We went to, you kind of invite me to go along on that trip to Georgia last year. We talked about that a lot, and it was interesting, and the things that we saw in two communities, and brought back and talked about it. And Matt unfolded some stuff, and he's been very busy with other things. And many plans on the drawing board, from Linear Park to Tuscaloosa and what have you. We all have this vision we like to see our town become, and we've talked about it a lot. On that chart, since we went to Georgia last year and talked about what we'd like it to be, where are we right now?
I'd say we're in a very good place. One of the things that we took away from that trip was this program manager position. And we were able to get
Jenny Pope's job.
we were able to get a partnership with, you know, the Downtown Business Alliance and the city, and find someone who could focus solely on that. The Citizen Circle, the completion of that, and renovating some other venues in our central business district to allow us to rotate activities and find the right activity for the right place, because not everything is suited for the square, and not everything is suited for Citizen Circle.
Well, Tom seems to like Citizen Circle a lot.
It is. It's great. It's great, but it's not appropriate for everything.
Right.
We're going to be working on a gaslight district on the north side of 40. So I think it's baby steps, but I'm really pleased at where we are a year and a couple of months later after that trip. I think we made a lot of progress.
Well, I just like the fact that even though the city's still talking about ways to get people across the boulevard, that just the fact that talking about stuff going on the north side of the boulevard, and the fact that there are establishments on the north side, I see people every weekend. I go downtown, I eat dinner downtown on the weekends. The foot traffic crossing the boulevard, people are starting to understand the traffic lights and the crosswalks work pretty good.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I actually had an opportunity to go to an open house at Ansophone, which is one of the new call centers in town, a couple of weeks ago, and it's beautiful over there, and it was right before the holidays, and everything was decorated very nicely. It was very comfortable to walk around, and there's just a lot of potential there, and it's just a matter of stepping up north across the boulevard and going over there. I do believe they had some activities over the holidays to kind of bring some attention there. And, you know, working on this concert series and regional marketing and trying to get some more businesses down there. And there's all kinds of opportunities, and we're just ready and waiting for them to happen so we can support that.
Well, it's been very busy, I know, and sometimes you can sort of just get so busy that you just don't get a chance to see beyond, look up from your work and see what's going on. So I just thought I'd check in with you, let you know we're paying attention and looking forward to hearing more about what's happening downtown.
Absolutely. And Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Thanks for coming on. Sorry about your Gators.
That's okay.
It's always next year. Wait, it's this year now.
It's basketball season, and it's almost baseball season.
Oh, there you go. All right.
We're
all happening. All right. J9, Janine Robbins with us once again. Good to have you, J9, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, we'll take a break, come back. We got to check in with Laura Klein, see what she's up to. She's been out and about now for traveling the country. And then we want to also do tweets and quotes coming up. Certainly. Right here on the program called The Voice of Ocala, live from Gateway Bank.
Community Gazette Day on 1370 AM, 96.3.
Gotcha.
I did it. 96.3 FM. Streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day, whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands. At Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price, fixed trade allowance. Offers don't combine.
I'm a car dealer who is feeling blue. I have too many cars and don't know what to do. If you're willing to put down $1 or $2, my misfortune can be a bonus for you.
Hello, this is Chris Beers from Prestige Auto Sales, and I'm going loony. Last month I took in too many trades, and now I've got cars in spades. Plus, additional cars are arriving daily. I have no idea where to put them, and I need your help. That means this week, 27 cars must go.
So if you've got the desire to drive a nicer, newer car, in $2, you're in luck. It's my New Year, Blue Year, Drive for 2 here sale.
Bad credit? Don't sweat it.
Our For the People credit approval process can help you drive away today, even if it takes some extra rhyming and reasoning with the banks to get it done. Our lot is full, and that's no bull. $2 down is all you'll pay to drive a nicer, newer car today.
I'm Chris Beers from Prestige Auto Sales, and I'm a dealer for the people. See us in Ocala or Bellevue.
Or call 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. All right, welcome back. Got about 5 minutes to go here, 6 minutes to go here in this hour before we get to our sports hour, Buddy Sports Page. In that time, we're expecting Tom James to show up for Around the Water Cooler segments. We'll talk about a couple of topics like Muschamp says the Sugar Bowl loss doesn't diminish the Gator fans' season. Well, we'll debate that issue. And is Andy Reid the right coach, or is he just a recycle?
And also, the best coach out there not hired yet by the NFL, I got my list. We'll get the list from the guys here on Around the Water Cooler segment right here, coming up right after the 5 o'clock hour. Meanwhile, we've got some things to cover here, not the least of which is Tweets and Quotes. So, JJ, if you'll roll that little music there, we'll come at you with our version here today on Friday, January the 4th, 2013 for our Tweets and Quotes. This is from George Carlin. You know it's got to be good. A house is just a place to keep your stuff while you go out and get more stuff. Certainly. That is really the case, isn't it? Here's one of my favorites so far. A lot of talk about politicians and, of course, the problems they're having in Washington. George Bernard Shaw says, he knows nothing, and he thinks he knows everything. That points clearly to a political career.
So I should be in politics?
We got a lot of those up in Washington right now, don't we? And finally, I'm sort of paraphrasing this one because I had it and I lost it, but you get the idea. This came from a guy named David J. Fox, who texted, says that 97.3% of women on ChristianMingle.com say Tim Tebow fits their profile.
You think?
Tweets and Quotes. I got one more bonus for you. Anybody know who Gracie Allen was?
Of course. Good night. Say good night, Gracie.
Right.
Good night, Gracie.
You guys know who Gracie Allen?
George Burns' wife.
Correct. Partner and comedy partner. Here's one that makes a lot of sense about government, too. She said, this used to be a government of checks and balances. Now it's all checks and no balances.
Yes.
By the way, speaking of which, they finally got the deal done, signed. I turned on CNN today to watch a little bit of news, and I saw they're counting the votes again, electoral votes. I'm thinking, I've seen this movie. I know how it comes out. But in the House, they have to be read and counted again, each state by state, like a roll call, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
I bet Obama wins.
You think? What are the biggest odds on that? You never know.
You never know.
My final thought on that, there were some things that happened apparently in the fiscal cliff legislation that were pretty positive, despite all the negativity. So it all got caught up in all the issues of budgeting, but apparently there were some good things and the market responded pretty good to it too. So it wasn't all gloom and doom after all, although they keep telling us the sky is falling, the sky is falling.
Well, the markets are in New York, and we don't get to go to New York very often, buddy.
We don't?
When was the last time you were in New York City?
Well, a year ago, but what's a
year ago?
Anything?
Well, somebody in our presence was there within the last 10 days.
Hunter?
Hunter was not there.
JJ?
JJ not there.
You?
Not you or I.
You only leave one person?
That does. Laura Klein.
I sure was.
The woman about the country.
Was that your first trip to the Apple?
Oh, no, that was my third trip.
Third trip. What'd you do?
We ice skated. We
Rockefeller Center.
Yes. No, we were at Bryant Park.
Oh, Bryant Park. A little local knowledge there.
Yes.
And then you went to the top of the world, top of the Empire State Building?
We did not because it was very cold and very windy.
Okay. And what did you do?
We saw Jersey Boys. We saw the Fantastics. We went to the Museum of Natural History. Just walked around and ate some good food. It was a lot of fun.
There is some great food in New York City.
Yes.
Do you know the Museum of Natural History, just for trivia purposes, is part of the Smithsonian?
Yes, I did know that. Matter of fact.
I didn't. So
I also like Mobart, by the way, which is a little bit different. It's not exactly.
MoMA?
Yeah, MoMA, yeah.
Yes, I see that.
And by the way, I usually go there every year around there for Christmas and get little goodies, little $10 things that they sell. What was in 15 seconds, your favorite meal that you had?
Wow. Probably at Serendipity 3, they have a very famous drink called Frozen Hot Chocolate, which is kind of an odd name, but it's a great concept. It's like a smoothie, but with less consistency, and it tastes like hot chocolate because it's smoky. It's delicious. You have to try it.
Hunter seems to have had this at one point. He's shaking his head over there. So. Well, Laura
it's
Klein, we're glad you had a great trip. Welcome back. And
thank you.
By the way, we'll be hearing soon from Laura on some high school information. All right, coming up next, it's Buddy Sports Page. Lots to come your way right here on
the Voice of Ocala Community Gazette Day from Gateway Bank on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, way back up in the woods among the I'm Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness, Ocala's premier small group and personal training fitness studio. Did you know you can achieve all your fitness goals, whether that's losing weight, getting fit, or training for a personal best, all with no membership fees? Have you ever been embarrassed or intimidated at a big gym because you're not a Greek god or a size 0 supermodel? Have you ever felt like your gym would rather you not even show up? At KMF, we have a team approach that focuses on small classes and personal training, and you'll feel like family, not just another number. No more boring treadmills or endless reps. Our classes are fun, energetic, and get you the results you want. And I should know, with the help of our great trainers, I lost over 100 pounds in 8 jean sizes, and I did it using no heavy equipment and no magic pills, just fun and effective workouts. And yes, I did say fun. Come join us at KMF. Visit our website at kmfocala.com or like us on Facebook. Again, that was kmfocala.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Look who just walked in the room. Joel Wiesner from What's Up Ocala. Hey, Joel, I'm looking for something to do this weekend. You got any ideas?
Absolutely. Check out our event calendar online at www.whatsupocala.com, and there is plenty of events there for you. Daily news updates to event reviews and magazine articles.
Really?
We've organized it all in one place online for you to cut through all of the hassle of finding something to do this weekend. We have a daily event calendar, a bi-monthly magazine, and we also do daily news articles.
All right, Joel, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah, whatsupocala.com.
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
ABC News Now. I'm Daniela Bellotta. An American Eagle pilot about to take off for New York arrested at Minneapolis Airport after someone complained he reeked of alcohol and he failed a breathalyzer test. Former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords is spending the afternoon with the families of the 26 children and staff killed in the Connecticut school shooting. Giffords was left partially blind when a gunman opened fire on her and constituents she was meeting with outside a Tucson grocery store 2 years ago. A Colombian firm that makes bulletproof vests is now creating armed clothing for children. The factory owner says he never thought about making protective clothes for kids until he received multiple requests following the deadly attack on Sandy Hook Elementary. Well, should lottery winners be kept secret? Several lawmakers think so, and they're proposing bills allowing winners to remain anonymous. But lottery officials say that showing the winners not only drives ticket sales, but it proves that the games are on the up and up. This is ABC News.
Introducing a faster way to push-to-talk. AT&T Enhanced Push-to-Talk. AT&T delivers more of what your business needs. Instant communication, up to 1,000 contacts, plus a broad array of devices and platforms. Visit att.com/enhancedPTT3 to get your business started with a free Samsung Rugby 3. You push-to-talk. We pushed it further. AT&T. Rethink possible.
Limited time offer. Free phone on new activations only. Requires 2-year commitment to eligible voice and data plans plus activation of AT&T Enhanced Push-to-Talk service.
At Advance Auto Parts, we don't do anything just part way. We go full throttle. We don't just sell batteries. Oh no, we install them fast and free with purchase on most vehicles. And we mean fast. If strapping on an experimental jetpack would help us install your battery any faster, we'd do it. Unfortunately, jetpacks can be squirrely. Too bad, because we really wanted those things. Fast, free battery installation at Advance. Service is our best part.
Advance Auto Parts.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the phone house at the same time. He didn't think we could do it. Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
All right, welcome to the Sports Page on a Friday. That means it's the Friday Drive, sponsored by Prestige Auto Sales. We'll just tell you that if you're looking for an automobile and you need some help on the financing, well, I can tell you from the reports I've gotten firsthand, go see Chris Spears at Prestige Auto, 2 locations to serve you, one in Bellevue, one on College Road, down 200, and he will meet your needs. There are many stories of success out there. Have sold all kinds of cars to all kinds of families. Some of them who need a little help on the financing, some who don't. I think you'll be pleased if you check it out. You can go to Prestige for You. That's Prestige. That's the letter, the number 4, letter U, .com, and check out some of the automobiles he's got. Go out there, kick some tires. Tell Chris what you're looking for, and he'll take care of your needs in terms of automobile and the financing, and you'll be a one-stop shopping place. Prestige Auto Sales, sponsor of the Friday Drive.
You know, the beautiful thing about Chris Spears, buddy, real quick, he has something in everybody's price range.
He does.
You can go out, if you're looking for a $3,000 car all the way up to a $20,000 car, Chris has got the car for you.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of discussion on the show about that because we both had people that were close to us who bought cars. They were very pleased.
We did.
All right, it's time now for our segment called Around the Water Cooler. Almost sounds like it'll be like a soap on TV. Around the Water Cooler, right?
That'd be a pretty good one.
Soap opera. We're going to weigh in on a couple of issues now. Coming up, it's a little bit after the hour. We'll be talking to some of our friends here on the show, Tom James is supposed to be here with us. We'll talk to Pat Obley from the Columbia State, who covers Gamecock sports and who can give us a little inside information regarding the South Carolina football team. Jadeveon Clowney's a tremendous hit on Smith against Michigan, and how that really kind of turned their season almost around in the end. It looked like things were pretty glum, and there's a great play. And I think if Jadeveon Clowney ever had a chance of being in the Heisman hunt, it'll be now. He'll certainly be up there. He'll be visible, and a guy who will be high, if not the number 1 pick in the NFL draft after next year. He'll be right there close to the top because that was a game-changing play. In fact, that's one of the subjects today on Around the Water Cooler we're going to talk about today. And JJ, weigh in here also. Coming up at 5:45, Joe Williams will give us his information as well. But JJ, of all the games that you saw on TV, what was the one play that sticks to your mind, aside from the 1-point safety last night by Kansas State?
Out of all the bowl games?
Yeah.
It's got to be Clowney.
I think so, too.
I mean, I hate to say that because that's everybody's, but you can't look past a play that amazing, man. And to think that, you know, all the big hits and concussion talk that we've had in the last couple years, if the NFL gets rid of hits like that, it's gonna hate itself. I mean, a hit like that in the NFL, don't you think there would be some type of fine or maybe even 15-yard penalty, suspension, something like that?
I don't think so. You think it was a dirty hit?
No, but I think that in the NFL they call that a lot.
Because his helmet got knocked off and everything.
Yeah,
I just know what JJ's saying.
Yeah.
It looked, perception is reality in the NFL sometimes.
So I didn't get that at all. Speaking of the NFL, let's go to the headlines now with JJ. Some news today about the new coach in Kansas City. JJ,
Yes.
what you got?
We talked about it a little yesterday. It's been coming. Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs reached an agreement today after, what did they meet for, 9 hours, buddy? Reid and the Chiefs reportedly agreed to a deal giving the longtime Eagles head coach broad authority over football decisions. So I guess that means deciding who he wants on the team, GM type stuff, because they got rid of the GM today.
They fired him today, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, Bill O'Brien, who kind of came out of nowhere, who coached Penn State this season, after everybody thought they were going to lose every game, they ended up having a pretty legit record, and 4 NFL teams were interested in O'Brien, including the Browns, who they interviewed yesterday. But he said today he's staying at Penn State.
I have a great respect for Bill O'Brien.
He could have easily went and made a bunch of money.
And not only that, he committed to a cause, and everything he said he was there for, and he stayed the course. If he left now, would become really hypocritical.
Right.
So I have a great respect for him. He will be, by the way, an NFL coach before it's over down the road if he wants to be. Speaking of which, guys, NFL coaches, I made a list today of the guys that I thought were the most attractive coaches who have not been hired yet, and I thought we'd have on our first segment of Around the Water Cooler, who would you hire of all the available coaches if you could pick one? And there are, I made a list of about 7 or 8, and we'll just strike off a couple of them because it's too simple. Chip Kelly, we know, is one of the leading contenders there. But all the other coaches out there, if you were hiring somebody, where would you go? Let's start, Tom. You want to venture on that?
I would. I'm kind of an old school guy that likes the old school type coaches, so I would go do whatever it took to get Bill Cowher from behind the CBS desk and bring him out. I'd take Bill Cowher. Lovie Smith, the man's 10-6. He's got a winning record while he was with Chicago, with 3 different offensive coordinators in the last 4 years. He's got a crybaby quarterback in Chicago who was really, a pariah. So to win in Chicago, he did quite a good coaching job. So Lovie Smith would be my guy. And the other guy who you're never going to get out of the Monday night booth because he really loves what he does is John Gruden. If I had a coaching 3 hot list, it'd be Bill Cowher, Lovie Smith, and John Gruden.
Well, that's a good one. Here's among the list, one of the names I put on my list here. And Hunter, I don't know if any of those strike your fancy. I know you mentioned you like that.
Absolutely, I like Gruden a lot though, because I feel like if you can get him out of that booth, he'd be a great coach for a team. But he won't come out of the booth, I don't think.
I feel like they've been out of the game. Him and Cowher have been out of the league for a while. So,
but the thing is, they really haven't, because you know why? They've been watching football, a lot of it. And if you go back and look at some of the successful coaches, NBA, NFL, they got out of it for college, got out of it for a while. They studied other programs, other formations, and what have you, philosophies, came back to it, and were more successful. I know Urban Meyer thinks he's a better coach today because of the year he spent at ESPN watching football.
I got one name for you, JJ. Dick Vermeil, 1980, went to the Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles, walked away from the game, came back in the early 2000s, late 90s and early 2000s, took St. Louis to the Super Bowl.
Well, as a Bills fan, I actually am looking for a coach to take over the team. And right now, number one's got to be Lovie Smith. I mean, he's a defensive guy. He won 81 games in his coaching career. The Bills sort of need a defense. That's what they never have. So I think it was a mistake the Chicago Bears got rid of him. I would love to have Gruden, obviously, Cowler, obviously, but I don't think those guys are really going to come out anytime soon. So right now, Lovie Smith looks like the best option.
All right, so John Gruden is the obvious choice. And, of course, let's not forget he did get fired in Tampa. Not that he can't coach, I understand. Cowler's name has come up every year. I got a question whether Cowler really wants it bad enough. He's been away from it. What made him a great coach was that jutted jaw and that fierce competition, and at Pittsburgh. And I don't know that he might like that good life now. He may not want to coach anymore. That's possible.
I mean, he hasn't coached in a while. Gruden's been in the booth for a few years, but
good point.
Cowler's been out of the game for 5 or 6.
Yeah. Let me throw a couple of names at you out there. Now, some people will say, it's the same old coaches being recycled. Like Andy Reid, there he goes from one to the other team and what have you. And I guess Andy Reid was a good hire for them. But we'll see about that. But let's throw a few fresh names in there, all right? How about some fresh names that you don't hear every day, like Gruden and Cowler, whatever, and Lovie Smith. Here's one for you that probably you wonder about. Doug Marrone, Syracuse coach, is high up on a lot of people's lists. And I've watched the Syracuse team play, and I must say they're a well-coached football team. They didn't have a great year, had a good year. I like their offense. I like the way they play defense. I like the way they're well-disciplined. And apparently he's very well thought of. So Doug Marrone from Syracuse is on people's list. Another guy that we've heard about, Bruce Arians. He won, 10 games or 9 games in Indianapolis before the head coach came back?
Right. Yeah.
So he's on some lists, too, out there. And Bruce Arians is a guy that he's a little older, but he's been successful. What a coaching job he did. If you're going to pick a coach of the year, to be honest with you, it ought to be Bruce Arians. He wasn't even the head coach.
Yeah, you know a name I've heard for Philadelphia that I just don't understand? Gruden, as in Jay Gruden, the offensive coordinator at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Is he really that thought of as a high?
Well, last time I saw he was coaching arena football.
That's the last time I remember him coaching was arena football.
Yeah. So I was surprised to read that name too. Another name that you hear mentioned a little bit, Mike McCoy, offensive coordinator of the Broncos. He had success with Tebow. How come he could make Tebow successful and they can't make him successful in the New York Jets? And then 2 other names real fast. One of them is, or one name at least, guy I think a lot of, David Shaw at Stanford, to me, is like the hottest coaching prospect. I've been saying this now before he won his bowl game. I think he is a heck of a, and he's coached in the NFL for a number of years.
Yeah.
If I'm one of these teams, I'm knocking his door down. So those are some names of people that we're looking at as it gets near, it gets time for.
Chip Kelly is, the guy coming from college right now, but do you really understand why? I mean, that
really
offense
don't.
is not going to work.
I really don't, because his defense is not that good.
Never.
And you can get a coordinator. And secondly, I don't know that you can run that offense in the National Football.
There's absolutely no way. There's too much speed. So I don't understand why he's, all these NFL teams are in love with him.
They do love him. For some reason, he's going to have 4 interviews probably when it's all said and done.
Well, and I agree with JJ. It's the hurry up. It's the no huddle. They do that in the NFL all the time. It's called the 2-minute drill.
Yeah, and
they know how to stop that.
And you know what? I believe it's a guy in Denver who runs it every play.
Every play.
So, all right, so those are some names, again, that we covered. Chip Kelly, Bill O'Brien, Doug Marrone, John Gruden, Bill Cowher. One game he did not mention, that's the obvious one, Nick Saban. He's committed to Alabama, but at some point, somebody's going to get him out of there, probably.
Do you think he would make more money at Alabama than some of these NFL teams?
Yes.
Like, you know, for instance, Buffalo or Cleveland, they're not going to be able to pay him what Bama pays.
Well, first of all, Nick Saban's not going to Buffalo from
right. I'm just throwing some names out there.
No, but I don't think. I think he's right where, unless the absolutely ideal situation came along, and he got an opportunity, to get enhanced in his. Because you can't give coaches stock options in stock. You can't. That's against the rules. But I think he's there. So there's your list right there, folks, around the water cooler. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll talk some more about, we'll see. We're going to see if we get a hold of Pat Obley from the Columbia State and talk about that great play. And also, where do the Gamecocks go from here? They jumped up, had a good year. What's it like for them next year? And I know this guy's a big Kansas State fan, Pat Obley. Tough night for him last night. As the Wildcats went down to Oregon. We'll take a break on Buddy Sports Page and return after this timeout on
1378 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
Ripped from the headlines of an imaginary tabloid, 6 women with brain death or expiring minds want to know. It takes you on a musical journey into the wacky world of pop culture where you'll find wannabe prom queens, desperate housewives, aliens, and the secret lives of Barbie and Ken. 6 Women with Brain Death is a zany musical and live on stage at Ocala Civic Theater, January 4th through January 20th. Call 352-236-2274 or buy online at okalacivictheater.com. Be there.
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
All right, welcome back to Around the Water Cooler segment. We're at the Gateway Bank for Community Gazette Day. Tom Schmitz, J.J. LaSalva, Hunter Thompson-Turner, and soon coming to airwaves near you, Tom James joins us on the Around the Water Cooler. And don't forget, if everything goes, in the end goes to the garbage can, we got somebody to bail us out here. Laura Klein's on the case.
She is on the case.
She's on the case. So. All right, so Hunter's giving us the inside scoop here on something he found out.
On the Louisville, Florida bowl game. Yeah. Something very interesting.
Why is this just coming to us?
Why is it taking you till today to come up with this information?
You have breaking news, Hunter. You're supposed to share it, for crying out loud. You have an inside source, and now you're keeping it to yourself now. Is this legitimate, or is this something you made up?
It's legitimate. I have it right here, actually, in written word.
All right.
I talked to an inside source who was in the Gators locker room.
In the Sugar Bowl?
Yes.
Okay.
And he told me that the players lost interest. They didn't care. That's a direct quote.
The players lost interest. Wow. That's an indictment right there.
They lost interest. They really didn't care.
Not a good thing. All right, someone who has not lost interest, and we'll get back to that in just a moment, but our guest for this segment is on now. I think you can hear us. I know it's a little difficult for you. Pat Obley of the Columbia State joins us now on the program here on a Friday afternoon on Buddy's Sports Page. And first of all, Pat, can you hear me all right?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Sorry about your Wildcats last night. I was secretly rooting for them, but just too much firepower there from Oregon.
I pretty much had a sense of doom all month waiting for this game. Oregon's they're just way too high powered. They're way too talented on both sides of the ball. And D'Anthony Thomas, wow, what a guy.
I mean, I think if that's one thing I learned about Oregon, I forgot how fast he was, and he's pretty strong too.
That's probably the one thing that really jumped out at me too. I didn't realize he could be that tough as well. It's you always think of Oregon as kind of being a finesse team, and after you saw what Stanford did to them, you thought, well, they can't match up against a physical team either. But yeah, they sure had no problem with Kansas State.
Yeah, I got to say props to Bill Snyder. I mean, the guy, he looks like he probably couldn't motivate a flea. You know what I mean? But yeah,
absolutely.
He looks, but he somehow has this well-disciplined football team who played out of their mind this year. Very competitive. They couldn't get it done last night, but then that's understandable. They were outgunned. But Bill Snyder is an incredible story.
Oh, absolutely. He's I guess he's 72 years old now. He's I guess that was his fourth year in the reboot, his second tour of duty with Kansas State, and it's an interesting thing. Yeah, we wonder how much longer he can go in that job. How interested can he truly be going into an 18-year-old's living room and trying to sell them on playing at Kansas State? You wonder about all that stuff, but
they're thinking maybe he won't be around by the time he graduates. At 73,
I believe he is absolutely. Now, so. It's but you never know. You might be one of those guys that does the Bobby Bowden thing and just stays there until he's about 80 or something.
Well, he had a great year for sure, and we're joined now by Pat Obley of Columbia State. Also, our friend Tom James is here, joins us on the roundtable, along with Tom Schmidt. We're having discussions about what might have been the play of the year on what was very Lawrence Taylor-esque by Jadeveon Clowney, who absolutely stoned Smith of Michigan and also knocked his helmet off and took the football away from him and held him upside down and shook out his lunch money. What a play.
It's been absolutely hilarious to go the Danny Glover route from Lethal Weapon. He decaffeinated the guy. It was just an amazing hit. And I've seen so many hilarious send-ups of that hit on YouTube and whatnot, kicking around Twitter. showing the helmet floating in outer space, showing it buried in the sand of Mars, and it's just really hilarious how that hit has taken off and kind of become a legend of its own.
We're speaking with Pat Obley of the Columbia State. Pat, Tom Schmitz here. How much anger or just drive and determination do you think Clowney had based off of watching referees that had just before decided that a first down that was obviously 2 or 3 inches short was a first down, no matter how much Coach Spurrier got in their face and told them they were wrong, and the 3-year-old girls now showing them how they were wrong? How much of that do you think played?
They were not referees; they were buffoons.
How much of that played into Clowney's his attitude as he took the field?
Well, that is something that Clowney has done all year long. Whenever a play has gone against USC, whenever there's been a call that's gone against USC, whenever the momentum has moved against USC, he has always, 100% of the time, come up with a huge play. And it was one of those things when it happened. You just had, if you followed South Carolina all year long, you knew something was going to happen, if not on that play, really soon. And sure enough, Michigan, out of their minds, first of all, for calling a play that called for a pulling guard. You don't do that. You don't get gimmicky up that front line with when you have, Jadeveon Clowney right in front of you. And they got gimmicky on that play, and they just completely missed a stunt on Clowney, and Clowney came in completely untouched. And oh mercy, you can't leave Clowney untouched ever anywhere on the football field. He's got all kinds of highlights throughout his short career already. When he threw Aaron Murray around like a rag doll the first game he played against Georgia 2 years ago, it was he's got all kinds of hits like that. We saw it all year long, and that one was just the highest profile one.
You mentioned USC, and the guy sitting to my left got very excited because he thought you were talking about his favorite team.
I constantly forget where I'm at.
Yeah, but this guy,
South Carolina,
this guy
it's about the only state in the country that calls USC for South Carolina.
Yeah, but Pat, this guy grew up in Ocala, Florida, okay, and so it should be South Carolina, but for him, no, it's the Trojan. Tom James, say hi to Pat Obley.
Pat, it's great to talk to you. I think one state in the United States considers USC South Carolina.
I could tell you a really good story about the battle those two schools have had over the USC name, and they've got a really complicated court agreement actually that allows the Olympic sports to alternate the use of the SC logo on their jerseys or on their hats and stuff like that. It's a really, really funny court ruling that came out about 6-7 years ago.
We've got to get a home and home here happening again in college football between those two.
They had it for basketball back in the middle of the last decade. I think that should have been a tradition. That should have just happened year after year.
All right, Pat, I wanted to get your take on that, and also I got an interesting text, which should probably not be in your newspaper, from the wife of the old ball coach. Okay? Yeah, and she said that Steve was insanely, I believe she said, the exact adjective was unbelievably happy that she hadn't seen him like this in a long, long time. And I noticed Spurrier running onto the field had a smile on his face. And I thought about that, and I thought, I don't remember seeing that smile, him running on the field. And, there's obviously some joy back in Columbia for the old ball coach now. What did he say after the game?
Well, it's an interesting thing. The Outback Bowl, for whatever reason, that I think that stuck in his craw the last time they played the Outback Bowl. They played Iowa, and they just got their pants pulled down by the Hawkeyes in that game. And it was, at the time when that happened, everyone was questioning why in the world would Steve Spurrier ruin his legacy by trying to win at South Carolina. And, time has gone by here, and I guess that was about 4 years ago. And he has gradually gotten this program to where it's almost to a state of reloading, which is unheard of for people around here. The fan base has never seen anything like that. They've never seen back-to-back 11-win seasons. And in the process, Spurrier has become the all-time winningest coach at South Carolina, and he's become just an absolutely beloved figure here in the state. And it's a fun team. He's got a fun coaching staff, and you have players like Clowney on your defense, and you get to learn. I think he's been invigorated by trying to pick up the zone read type of offense. It's kind of a new learning experience for him too, having to kind of play that kind of an offense. And I think he's just been rejuvenated by the game of college football, and I think it's something that'll probably keep him at the helm for a few more years.
No question about it. Hey, Pat, we always enjoy visiting with you. Belated Happy New Year, and thanks for the input on the Gamecocks.
Absolutely. You guys have a good year, too.
All right, thank you. Pat Obley from the Columbia State. Before we go to break, Tom, you want to take issue. You had another play you thought was just as big.
Well, the Clowney play was big, but as a Gator fan, Terrell Floyd taking the ball back 38 yards for an interception for a touchdown 14 seconds into the Gator game sort of set the tone for how bad the game was going to be for Florida, and that was a huge play as far as that bowl game goes. And like you said, not only was it good for Terrell Floyd, poor Andre DeBose, he finally gets the ball thrown to him, and all that happens is a pick six the other way.
And the guy who took it in was from Florida, by the way.
Well, somebody told me today, I said, well, Florida lost. They said, well, don't be really upset. Florida won. 34 of the players on Louisville are from Florida.
A lot of them there for sure. All right, Tom James has joined us now. We're kind of into the around the water cooler segment. We'll pick up on him in a second. Big guy. And did you have one person real fast you wanted to add to the list of coaching prospects? We went over ours, the NFL, and agreed that probably, there were some pretty good guys out there.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, let me first say that I think Steve Spurrier's actually improved his legacy overall big time by the success that he's had up there at South Carolina. And it's a heck of a lot easier to win down here at your alma mater
than it is at USC.
Yeah, funny. I love this guy.
Good point.
Keep us separated, okay?
The other at USC. It's a good point. The fact is, I went to Vince to bring this up. When he took over the job, and he pointed this out to me when I was up at see him in Columbia, South Carolina overall and its record was a losing record of all time.
All time.
They were under 500 by a couple of games. So that's how bad the program was. He took me by the trophy case, which is pretty pathetic. Other than George Rogers,
outside of that,
they had no titles of any kind, Yeah. So it was kind of a rundown, ramshackle football program. Lou Holtz tried, and even given his best effort, he couldn't do much with it.
Yeah.
So I was really interested to hear Pat Alba use the word beloved. Not a word you hear next to Steve Spurrier's name very often.
Unless he's on your side.
Yeah, exactly.
But you want to talk about the USC situation. USC won 3 straight Heisman trophies. Charles White out of USC in '79. George Rogers from USC in 1980, and Marcus Allen in 1981.
Trick question.
It is a trick question.
Reminds me of another trick question for Tom. Tom, you can use that one. So you are the Trivianator, and as of next Tuesday, I'm told, you have your own hour?
I'll have my own hour of trivia.
Mackerel.
It'll be the hour of trivia power.
Oh, no.
All right.
This last time I had this happen, he had himself a business card made and gave himself a promotion. Now he's taking over the 3 o'clock hour.
Well, I get published, and it just goes on.
Can't miss radio.
And the final thought about along those same lines, 3 straight USCs. There was a trick question going around for a long time back in New York. When was the last time there was an all-white Yankee team? Now, I bring this up not because of the racism, but because of the trick question part of this. If you go back and look at it, the answer is that you'll never get it. Is that there was an all-white team in like 1971. Because the left fielder's name was Roy White. And every other player that started, depending on what the pitcher was in fact Caucasian.
There you
go, the all-white team. All right, this little trivia there that we'll never hear from Tuesdays on 3 o'clock. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll finish up. We've got more thoughts from Tom James. And maybe Tom Schmidt will add something to the program. And coming up, we'll be talking to Joe Williams about the schedule for college football, and JJ's going to run down the NFL schedule, and I'll give you my stat of the NFL weekend coming up right here on Buddy Sports Page next on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com.
The Source.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance. Offers don't combine.
I'm a car dealer who is feeling blue. I have too many cars and don't know what to do. If you're willing to put down $1 or $2, my misfortune can be a bonus for you.
Hello, this is Chris Beers from Prestige Auto Sales, and I'm going loony. Last month I took in too many trades, and now I've got cars in spades. Plus, additional cars are arriving daily. I have no idea where to put them, and I need your help. That means this week, 27 cars must go.
So if you've got the desire to drive a nicer, newer car, in $2, you're in luck. It's my New Year, Blue Year, Drive for 2 here sale.
Bad credit? Don't sweat it.
Our For the People credit approval process can help you drive away today, even if it takes some extra rhyming and reasoning with the banks to get it done. Our lot is full, and that's no bull. $2 down is all you'll pay to drive a nicer, newer car today.
I'm Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales, and I'm a dealer for the people. See us in Ocala or Bellevue.
Or call 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
What's up, Ocala?
This is Joel.
And Amanda.
With What's Up Ocala Magazine and Media.
We want to invite you to come see Ocala's top fashion designers.
And models.
The New Year's kickoff Business Expo begins at 1:30 with a never-to-forget fashion show following at 6 p.m. What's Up Ocala will have food, live music, and vendors showcasing their new products for 2013.
Categories of fashion include dress to impress, equine, business casual, a weekend away, local designer showcases from game day dresses, and the Tutu Factory. We will be ending the show with a complete bridal transformation. This is the largest fashion show Ocala has ever seen, emceed by the one and only Kelly Hart, with performances by local and national bands.
Sponsorships and vendor booths are still available. Be sure to attend this free event and stay connected to our updates by visiting our Facebook page or downloading the What's Up app from the App Store and Android Market. It's free.
The 2013 Ocala's Choice Awards will be presented at the show. This is an event you don't want to miss.
What's up, Ocala?
They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Don't ever miss a single edition of the Mike Huckabee Show. We're going to have a whole lot of fun talking the big issues of the day. We'll talk to the newsmakers and the issues that made them a newsmaker, as well as we'll bring you some entertainment, some fun. You never know what's going to happen on the Mike Huckabee Show. Don't miss it.
Join Mike Huckabee every weekday from noon to 3 exclusively on WOCA The Source.
All right, back on the Voice of Ocala. Real quick for our news bulletin here, the sports show. Tom Schmitz, what you got? The Flagler County Sheriff's Department is reporting Flagler County, right? Palm Coast, St. Augustine area. 3 people are dead after a small plane crashed into a house in Palm Coast around 2 p.m. today. The Beechcraft BE-35 had 3 people in it. It had been heading to Knoxville, Tennessee, but diverted to Flagler County Airport with problems. It did crash into a Palm Coast home just east of the airport, and 3 people are confirmed dead. I hate to hear that, but that's a scary thought that you can be in your house and a plane can crash on top of you. Not to mention the people who died in the plane. All right, we're trying to get this NFL schedule down for the weekend, and also college football before we go to Joe Williams, who will be joining us shortly. But before we do that, real quick, we had a discussion about uniforms off the air.
Yeah.
And we talked about what we liked and what we didn't, and you go ahead and make your comments. Tom James has this weird idea about the Gators' colors.
Well, I'm very impartial, as you know, about the Gators.
And I figured out why, by the way, why you like it, but go ahead.
Well, I turned on the TV the other night and absolutely loved the uniforms. And the first 5 Gator fan friends of mine that I asked all loved them. Now, I guess that was early in the game. But now, as more people I ask, now hated the uniforms.
But you asked
maybe that's
before.
because of maybe that's because of the result that they got out of them, but I don't know.
Well, my favorites are, like I told you this in my answer to you.
Yeah.
I like the all white. I like the white with the orange pants. I like the all blue. I like the white with the blue pants. Okay?
Okay.
But I don't like the blue top with the orange pants.
No.
And
I know that Hunter had said also that they've never won with those.
Yeah, I don't know if they've never won it, but they have no memorable victories, and I can tell you that.
As long as they wear those uniforms, I'll root for them.
We don't want you.
My favorite Gator uniforms, the all blue uniforms.
Those are good too.
All blue uniforms are good.
I think what did they wear in the FSU win? And it might have been all blue when they beat FSU for the national championship. I got to go back and look at that. YouTube it.
The '96 game.
Yeah, I have to look at that. All right, we're going to hold up on the college stuff because Joe Williams is coming up. Real quick, JJ, on the NFL stuff, here's my stat of the week, all right? The matchup. This is from ESPN Stats and Information. Matchup to watch, okay? Cincinnati and Houston. J.J. Watt has the NFL best 16 tipped passes this season. Andy Dalton, the quarterback for the Bengals, has had 32 tipped the last 2 seasons, third most in the National Football League.
Wow.
Pretty interesting stat, huh?
I still like the Texans to roll.
All right, go ahead and give me your schedule there.
Bengals play Texans Saturday. Finally, there's Saturday games.
4:30 NBC.
4:30, 8 o'clock NBC, national televised. Vikings versus Packers. Could be a snowstorm at 8 o'clock over there. Sunday, 1 o'clock, Colts at Ravens. CBS. And the last game of the weekend, 4:30, Fox, Seahawks at Skins.
All right, everybody pick out one game they want to talk about real quick. We got about 15 seconds for each game. I'm gonna start out with, I like Seattle over Washington.
And I know you're calling that because you're such a big Pete Carroll fan, but
that's exactly why it is.
I've got to go with Baltimore. That's going to be my
Ravens
lock.
over the Colts.
That's my lock.
Okay, well, they're going to do it with Ray Lewis.
The emotional factor of Ray Lewis, I think that's my lock.
All right, I'm going with, I picked Green Bay to go to the Super Bowl, so they got to beat Minnesota this week in Green Bay for that to happen.
It'd be a tough order. The way they're
struggled last week. They lost.
Yeah.
I think the Texans are going to roll the Bengals. The Bengals have won like 7 of their last 8. Texans are struggling lately, but I still think they're way better than the Bengals are.
Yeah, there you go. Let's go ahead and take our break right now. We'll catch up
real quick. Florida wore white jerseys and blue pants with orange helmets in the 1996
I knew I liked it for some reason. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll join Joe Williams on the other side right here on the Voice of Ocala Buddy Sports page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com.
The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Hi, I'm Dr. Terry Compton, inviting you to join us on the Voice of Ocala to discuss a painful subject, pain, not a one-size-fits-all pain, because pain is very personal and comes in all forms. That's why we need to talk about where you're hurting, and we can find out why. Then I can recommend ways to help deal with it, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, the psychological pain of loss, or the pain of physical injury. And when we define your pain, we can begin looking for ways to treat it. Did you know that a lack of vitamin C can cause severely excruciating pain? So listen to my new show, Dr. Terry, on the first Friday of each month, live from Gateway Bank at 3:30. We're all in this together. There's a better way of living. Let me help you find it on the Dr. Terry Show.
Tune in and join Dr. Terry the first Friday of each month right here on The Source.
On Mondays, AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Regine De Bono. She was born in France. She's a chemist. She studied marketing for the arts at New York University. She's a playwright and a best-selling author. Her book is called Belated Love Letters to My Husband.
Open for debate where both sides of one issue will be discussed.
And Matt Gibbs will be in the studio. He, of course, is the owner of Sunrise Automotive and a qualified mechanic. He comes on to host his program. It's called Auto Repair with Personal Care, and he'll take your calls to answer your questions about your car.
Jay Richards is an award-winning editor. He's going to be speaking about C.S. Lewis's book, The Magician's Twin. C.S. Lewis on science, scientism, and society, an invaluable tool in challenging Darwinists' often dictatorial dominance over their most effective critics.
And then we'll have fun with Joe, and we'll go over some of the other award shows that are happening at the beginning of 2013. Maybe this time, Robin, maybe we'll look at the Grammys.
Ooh, nice.
All on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
We have Lena on the phone.
Hi, this is Lena with ABC Fredericks Appliance. We service all makes and models and warranty our work and our used appliances from Maytag to Whirlpool, Crosley, and Speed Queen. So stop in at ABC Fredericks Appliance to see our showroom 1/8 of a mile from the tracks on County Road 25 in Bellevue, or call 347-2781. That's 347-2781. That's 1/8 of a mile from the tracks on County Road 25 in Bellevue. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Great talking to you again, Lena. See you at ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Ripped from the headlines of an imaginary tabloid, 6 women with brain death or expiring minds want to know. It takes you on a musical journey into the wacky world of pop culture where you'll find wannabe prom queens, desperate housewives, aliens, and the secret lives of Barbie and Ken. 6 Women with Brain Death is a zany musical and live on stage at Ocala Civic Theater, January 4th through January 20th. Call 352-236-2274 or buy online at ocalicivictheater.com. Be there.
All right, welcome back to Buddy's Sports Page here on the Roundtable with Tom Schmitz and Tom James, who go out to Colorado now, out in the mountains of Colorado, I should say, where our friend Joe Williams is headed up for a little R&R this weekend, and I'm sure he'll take in some football as well. How are you, Joe?
Well, I'm doing good, fellas. Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you. And just so before you ask it, like you always do, like you've done for the last 20 years, no, it's not a happy bunch of Gators here, because you always ask about that. So
I can imagine that it's not a very happy bunch of Gators, but you know that's to be expected. And they didn't play as representative of the kind of team they've been all year, and that's too bad. But it's once again this goofy BCS bowl that screws everything up, and nobody cares about Louisville versus Florida. Florida didn't care about it, and the only one that means anything is Monday night, and everybody, of course, cares about that one. By the way, I've got Alabama in that game.
Yes, you told me that today. And by the way, I hate to admit this, but you're kind of winning me over on this bowl thing this year because there has been a lack of interest. We just got a report from our intrepid reporter, Hunter Thompson-Turner, that he had a source inside the locker room out in Sugar Bowl who told him they just didn't care. So, obviously the crowd showed that. The smallest crowd they've had at the Sugar Bowl since 1939. So you appear to be right about that. Apparently there is not much interest in some of these bowl games, and it now focuses on Monday night. You're joined by Tom and Tom. Let's get a little pick-a-thon here, Joe, and see. What's the point spread out in Colorado?
10.
All right. Tom Schmidt and I have a little different view. I have not asked Tom James. Tom, you taking Tom James? You'd like Notre Dame and 10, or are you going to take Alabama?
I'll take Notre Dame and 10.
You're taking a 10. Tom Schmidt, you're already on record. Go ahead.
I have been against Notre Dame all year, Alabama wins the football game. Notre Dame covers the 10.
All right, and Buddy takes Notre Dame in 10. So there you got it, Joe. 3 of us here like Notre Dame in the 10 points.
Well, I told you I thought Alabama was going to roll by 20, buddy. It's going to happen.
It's easy to take the point. Here's let me tell you what I would. Y'all still there?
We're here.
All right. Here's what I would do. I would take Notre Dame on the money line.
Yes, good
If
play.
I was in Las Vegas, you bet $100 to win $290. You know, or $1,000 to win $11.90. You know, I would bet Notre Dame on the money line sooner than I would taking Notre Dame plus the points. Alabama is a superior team. Just as good as Notre Dame on defense, and I believe a better offensive football team. I don't think Notre Dame's offense is up to the task. However, with their defense, if they can not turn the ball over, if Golston doesn't turn the ball over, I think their defense can keep it pretty close. But, you know, asking an offense like Notre Dame, well, any offense really, but asking one like Notre Dame to not turn the ball over against the Alabama defense is expecting an awful lot. And when you get the experience part of it in there with Alabama, they've been in this game before. Alabama is the favorite. They should be the favorite, and I think they're going to cover the 10.
Well, you may be right, and I think Alabama will win the football game, but I like 10 points because I've seen that movie before, and sometimes Alabama has a little chink in its armor. It's had a little difficulty, especially the quarterback position. So we'll see. I'd like a front 7. Theo obviously is a great player, but it's going to be interesting to see if the SEC can win yet another national championship. Hey, guys, let me ask you all, starting with Joe, do we think any less of the SEC now because of LSU losing, because of Florida losing, because of Mississippi State losing? Do you think it's devalued the SEC, Joe?
Once again, they're playing in bowl games that they don't really care anything about. When you play an SEC schedule and you've been down that, if you're Mississippi State, you've been down that road, and all of a sudden here comes Northwestern, you know, who is a pretty fair team, but they're a Big Ten team. How pumped up are you going to get to play them? How pumped up was LSU to play Clemson? I mean, really. They've been there and done that. Georgia played Nebraska, and I thought Georgia was, I thought they were ready to play as much as you can be, but they got a gimme in Nebraska. And Nebraska's defense, they used to be called the black shirts. Now they call them the black skirts. And Georgia took advantage of that. And I just don't, these bowl games that don't mean anything, I just don't, when you're talking about measuring up a conference against a conference, I just don't buy it. Yeah. I'll tell you what I do buy. The SEC has won the last 7 national championships against whoever they put in there, sometimes each other. That's what I do buy, and that's how I measure it. Let Southern Cal or Texas or somebody like that or anybody else, Oklahoma, throw them all in there, let them come in there and beat an SEC team, and then we'll start talking about it.
Hitman going all SEC. Tom James wants to make a comment.
Well, and it's interesting you say that because I heard a comment during one of the bowl games last week about the Big East's bowl record over the last 4 or 5 years, how it was something along the lines of 26-13. And how, you know, the argument was against all these people who bash the Big East, well, look at their winning bowl record over the past half a decade. But if what Joe is saying is true, that half the teams maybe that they're beating from supposedly superior conferences don't care about those bowl games, how impressive is that record?
Well, and the Big East, remember, too, you know, before Virginia Tech and they had Miami and Boston College, and all those were in the Big East. They're not anymore. And all I know is I look at, who played, let's see, Oklahoma, who they played Connecticut a couple of years ago.
Florida played Cincinnati.
Yes, that was awful. I mean, come on now.
Utah, Alabama.
People aren't going to seriously entertain the thought that the Big East is anywhere comparable to forget about the SEC. They're not comparable to anybody. Even the sissy conference like the Pac-12 is as good as the Big East.
We're not even going to count that as a Big East team to beat Florida. That was an ACC team, Joe. All right, Joe, we're out of time. Have a good weekend in the mountains. I'll talk to you next week.
Boys, happy New Year to all them Gators down there, and Happy New Year to you guys and to my friend Umatilla Steve.
Okay, Joe. Joe Williams from My High Sports Endeavor. I want to thank him today, along with Pat Obley from the Columbia State. David Moore joined us earlier from Neighborhood Magazines. Melissa Townsend from the Discovery Center. Janine Robbins. Of course, Tom Ingram. And thanks to our crew here at JJ, Tom, and Hunter. I'm Buddy Martin saying have a great weekend.
You've been listening to the Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.5.